All right, welcome to part one of the Audio Domination Masterclass. It is awesome to be here with you. I am Steve Olsher, looking forward to a lot of fun with you guys. I'm going to try to keep my here. I got Clubhouse going. We got the live stream and everything. So really good to see you guys. And man, this is going to be great. So welcome to the Audio Domination Masterclass. And this is part one of our four-part masterclass. Part one is appropriately enough entitled The Rise of Podcasting 2.0. Will you do me a favor? Will you give me a yes in the box if you can hear me, see me, and see the slides A-okay? I just want to make sure that that is a good. Just give me a yes, and we're going to use that in the Q&A. So just so you know, that's how we're going to do it. I can see that. We're going to keep it there. Q&A, there is no chat, but I can see the Q&A, just so you guys know. So that's where we're hanging out. Okay, awesome. Yay, technology is doing its thing, which is a great thing. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, awesome. So what we're going to be talking about here today is the new billion-dollar opportunity to leverage the combined power of podcasts and social audio to grow your audience, attract zero-cost leads, and to generate serious cash. All right, that's the discussion for the day. And my big promise here for you is I will show you how to generate all of the visibility, all of the leads, all of the revenue that your business needs and generate meaningful impact in less than 1 hour per day. And just out of curiosity, does anybody know who that behemoth is next to me? And by the way, that is me. Just in case you're wondering like who that guy is, that guy actually is me. Does anybody know who that behemoth is on my side there? Just curious if you know who that man is. And yeah, so some of you know. So that correct. That is Jocko. And if I don't show you how to do this in less than 1 hour per day, Jocko's going to take those Thor-like fists and he's going to destroy me. So yeah, exactly. All right, good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so let's keep rocking and rolling here. Now, here's the thing. Over the last 5 or 7 years, especially if you're a coach or an author or a speaker, a podcaster, right, holistic practitioner, business owner, et cetera, you know, the reality is that trying to get yourself found online and trying to build your business, whether it's online or offline, has become incredibly complicated. A lot of bells, a lot of whistles, funnels, and Instagram lives, and video setups, and like all this stuff. How many of you guys can relate to the fact that it seems like it's becoming more complex than ever to try to find people who you absolutely love and who absolutely love you, and to be able to attract those people into your world? How many of you are finding it, just give me a yes in the box, if you're finding it to be more complicated than ever? And it just seems like there's so many things that you have to do in order to succeed. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, exactly. Good, yeah. Yeah, me too. And so what I know to be true is that we're at this very interesting intersection, if you will, at this crossroads, if you will, where we really have an opportunity now to kind of harken back to what I might call simpler times. How many of you guys remember just sitting around the table and having conversations without a device in your hand, right? Or even just going to an event and networking with people and just sharing what you do and being, excited about what it is that you do, and people just naturally wanting to work with you. That's what I'm going to really be discussing with you here today, is how we get back to these simpler times where literally you have the ability to generate impact and income at the speed of your voice. Just give me a yes in the box if that is something you would like to do, to be able to generate impact and income literally at the speed of your voice. Okay, yeah, sweet. Thank you for that. Yeah, and me too. So let's talk about the easy button, if you will. The easy button of what is possible today, even more so than it was even just 4-6 months ago. Like, things have really changed quickly. And in the last 90 days specifically, the rules of the game have changed. from the standpoint of, if you think about it in terms of a pendulum. How many of you guys had one of these little click clack things when you were little, right? You put one inside and then it clicks, and right? I had one of those too. I was usually do the 2 to make the 3 go, and then the forward to make the 1 go, and I don't know. That's yes. Anyway, so there's always a pendulum in life, and there's a pendulum in business. Things kind of swing this way, then they swing this way, back this way, etc. And for the last number of years, that pendulum had really been swinging towards more complicated processes. If you think about podcasts, right? Really high value production podcasts. If you think about videos, just like these really, and this is a high production value video setup, right? And content in and of itself has become more and more complex. It's become more and more difficult for the average Joe or Jane to be able to recreate. And so when that pendulum swings all the way this way in terms of really highly produced, highly polished presentations and creation of content, what ends up happening is there's a gap that builds between the haves and the have-nots. And when that cavern gets to be too big between the haves and the have-nots, it really begins to implode upon itself. And so the whole thing begins to collapse. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because that's a lot of what we're seeing now, in terms of the fact that now, more than ever, especially in the world of social audio, people just want to have raw and real and authentic conversations that are not highly produced, that are not highly polished, and that are accessible for everyone, for you to be able to reach the people that you are most compelled to serve simply at the speed of your voice. So I just want to take you back for a second or two, and then let me ask you a question. How many of you kind of missed out on the big internet boom? I mean, there were internet millionaires and billionaires still, even still being made today, but in the 90s, in the early 2000s, when things really started to take off, right? If you missed out on that whole phase, that whole craze, that whole movement, or if you missed out on that whole explosion of social media, right? We watched these things happen. How many of you watched people like Jay Shetty end up build a following of 11 million people who like that page and 28 million people who follow that page, right? We've watched these things sort of happen. I mean, if you can just relate as I can, and I'm 51 now, so I've watched a lot of things happen over the years, but if you can relate as I can to kind of watching things happen without really being able to get into those sales and getting the results that you wanted to get, just give me a yes in the box if you watch some of these internet millionaires and billionaires take hold, and a lot of these people with Instagram and social media, other channels like Facebook and Snapchat and and so on, just build these huge followings. Yeah, me too, for sure. And what I want to tell you is that these sort of trends take place pretty much every decade or so. And the reality is that there's only 3 types of people. There are the types of people that watch what happened. There are the types of people that kind of wonder what happened. And there are the people who make things happen. And so my question to you today then is, which one are you? Are you someone who watches things happen? Are you someone who wonders what the hell happened? Or are you someone who makes things happen? Let me know in the box. Let me know. Fire it away in the box. And if you're on the live stream on Facebook, let us know on live stream. I'm just curious. So how many of you guys? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, exactly. And right. And that's, yeah, exactly. And there's a wide mix of people, and I get that. So what I want to tell you is that if you're a coach or an author or a speaker or a podcaster or a business owner, I mean, I get where you're at, because the reality is that right now, almost more than ever, it's harder and it's more expensive to garner attention. And perhaps it even feels like the louder that you yell, the less people are paying attention to you. How many of you guys can relate to this? Just give me a 1 in the box if you can relate to what I'm talking about here. Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you for that. A lot of 1s in the box, absolutely. And I'll also say to you that from my perspective, and perhaps from yours as well, that marketing nowadays, I mean, it kind of sucks. It's time consuming. It's expensive. And the reality is that we spend a lot of time. How many of you guys create blog posts? And you create these awesome blog posts, right, Deb? I know, right? And you've got these awesome blog posts, and it's like you spend all this time, energy, doing it, and like 12 people like it. And it's so frustrating. And so the question is, what do you do? Because you have a mission and a message to share. And that's why you're here. And I know that's why you're here. So how do you share that mission and that message in a way that gets you noticed? How do you attract the people that you are most compelled to serve? How do you bring those people into your ecosystem and have leads that are literally there for just you to reach out to when the time is right, to enroll them into relevant products, programs, and services? And so what I know to be true now is there are more people than ever. There are more coaches than ever. There are more podcasters than ever. There are more speakers than ever. Across the board, there are more independent business owners, so to speak, right now than there have ever been. And they're all with their hands out, clamoring for attention. And so I want you to think about this for a second, which is I want you to ask yourself the question of how different would your life and your business be if you could generate impact and income literally at the speed of your voice? That's what we're talking about here today. And this is what I want to cover with you today as we look at part one of the Audio Domination Masterclass, the rise of podcasting 2.0, which is the new billion-dollar opportunity to leverage the combined power of podcasts and social audio to grow your audience, attract zero-cost leads, and generate serious cash. And what I love about where we're at right now is that podcasting and social audio, kind of like cookies and milk. What is your favorite cookie, by the way? I'm always curious about this. Like I know Deb, what's your favorite cookie? What do you?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. All right. What's your favorite cookie? Just let me know in the box. I'm real curious here because Duff actually put together this slide, and I know he's a chocolate chip cookie fan. I've always been kind of partial towards oatmeal raisin. Like I don't know why, but I love a good oatmeal raisin cookie. But podcasting and social audio, like milk and cookies, right? Kind of like chocolate and strawberries, right? It just goes better together. Heidi says, I like ginger snaps. Ginger snap, peanut butter cookies, sugar cookies, right? Yeah. Ooh, the mint Oreo cookies. Yeah, that is a good one. Those mint Oreos are really good. I will agree with you on that. So let's look at the impact of social audio on podcasting. Specifically, I want to discuss how the emerging platform of social audio is disrupting the podcast industry and giving rise to what I call podcasting 2.0. And this is something that I hope you can get really excited about, because I can tell you that I'm super excited about what's going on here with the intersection of podcasting and social audio. And I know a lot of my peers are super excited about what's going on now with the intersection of podcasting and social audio. And so that's what we're going to be talking about here today. And my goal, my job more than anything else, is hopefully to get you as excited about this opportunity as I am. And tomorrow, well, actually, technically in a couple of days from now, we're going to shift to the next part of the Audio Domination Masterclass. We're going to be talking about the new podcast profit path, and I hope you can join me for that, because our profit path has really evolved, and it now allows you to really dominate with both podcasts and social audio to create massive visibility and highly targeted leads and generate serious revenue for you, for your brand and business like never before. And so we're going to be talking about the new podcast profit path, the new Audio Domination profit path. And I'm going to do that in part 2 here of the series, and I hope you can join us for that. But for now, what I really want to dig into is this billion-dollar, what I would call a once-in-a-decade opportunity. Because as you know, timing is everything, right? And right now, the opportunity with podcasts and social audio is really unlike anything that I've seen for at least a decade. And I've been online a long time. I have been in business a long time. I think the gray in the beard probably shows that. If you're on Clubhouse, you're like, I don't see the gray. But yes, you can hear the gray in my voice. I've been online a long time. I've actually been online since 1993 when we launched a store on CompuServe's electronic mall. And I've always been one to kind of get a really good sense of where future trends are. And I jumped on that CompuServe bandwagon really, really early, built one of the first fully functional e-commerce sites in 1995. That site became liquor.com when I acquired that domain in 1998, and ultimately in 2019 sold that company to Berry Dealers IAC. So I've been around online for a long time, and again, really seeing trends often and early. Actually, let me ask you a question, because I always get a little. Let me just do this. How many of you guys just give me a no in the box if we've never met before? If this is your first experience of me at all, just give me a no in the box. Like, I have no idea who you are, Steve. This is my first time ever meeting you. It's a little humbling whenever I do this, but I'm always curious. So, okay, so a lot of you guys, this is your first experience of me. Okay, great. Well, welcome to my world. My name is Steve Olsher. Good to have you here. Yeah, and so I'm asking that question because I always kind of make the assumptions you might know more about me than you do. So I'm glad I included this slide here, because what some of you may not know is that I jumped on the authoring bandwagon really, really early as a way with which to generate leads and revenue and visibility and generate credibility and authority. Put a book on the New York Times list called What is Your What? Discover the one amazing thing you were born to do, and wrote the Business Technology Book of the Year, Internet Profits, the World's Leading Experts Reveal How to Profit Online. And I've actually been a podcaster now for the better part of almost 12 years, because we released our first episode of Reinvention Radio in 2009. And then we launched Beyond Eight Figures in 2018 that we ended up selling actually in 2020. And that's a conversation for another day. But I'm sharing this with you because over the years, as I said, I really have done what I would call a fairly decent job of being able to spot trends and understand where opportunities are, whether it's pursuing podcasting way back in 2009 or going online in 1993 or getting into real estate when that boom hit, et cetera. I've done a lot over my career. As a matter of fact, I'm one of the few coaches that has actually built businesses outside of this coaching industry. We did over $50 million in real estate development. We sold liquor.com for millions and millions and millions of dollars. So one of the few people that not only understands this world of online marketing and coaching and podcasting, et cetera, but again, I've built businesses outside of this arena as well. And what I know to be true, when you see a once in a decade opportunity like we're seeing right now, is that those who are fast action takers can capitalize on enormous audiences and attention without spending a penny on ads. And what I also know to be true is that this opportunity will be fleeting. And there is a significant amount of reward right now for those who take action and are early adopters. And this opportunity ultimately will be fleeting for those who wait. And those who wait will see diminishing returns. It's just the nature of the beast. How many of you guys are familiar with Bitcoin? I just want to, how many are you familiar with it? And how many of you are investors in it? Just familiar or investor? I'm just curious. Just type it in the box. Familiar or investor? Just curious. Familiar and investor. Familiar. Okay. Yeah. Good. So a lot of you are familiar with it. Then perhaps what you're also familiar with is the fact that in our lifetime, we have watched this thing go from basically pennies to a lot more than pennies. As a matter of fact, when I checked it this morning, we'll put a little date stamp on it. I believe Bitcoin just crossed $63,000. I'm not telling you that to be like, oh my God, Steve, why? I'm only telling you that because what I want you to understand is that this is something that we have seen happen. And I believe that what we're looking at with social audio is very, 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 very similar, because we have the opportunity right now to get in on the ground floor. Where would you be right now if you invested in Bitcoin when it was $50 a coin? Right? That could have happened. We watched that happen. This is where we're at right now in this world of social audio and the intersection of podcasting and social audio in this world of podcasting 2.0. It's either going to be something that you are a part of and you're going to take advantage of and you are going to ride that wave up through that hockey stick, or you're going to watch it happen. So my hope, and I know that's why you're here, is to learn how to be part of that wave. So I applaud you for being here. And I look forward to teaching you about the opportunity. So let's talk about it, okay? Now, we jumped in very, very early into the social audio space. And when I say early, I mean December. like that makes me an OG at this point, which is pretty funny and pretty ironic. But in a fairly short period of time on Clubhouse in particular, and there are other platforms, but on Clubhouse in particular, we've really gone all in. In a very short period of time, we grew our Club Pod, from 0, meaning the club didn't exist, to over 50,000 members and followers in less than 90 days. Now, I've done things online for a long time. I have never built a community of 50,000 plus people who raise their hand and say, yes, I want that, in less than 90 days. That's pretty incredible. And what I will tell you is that throughout my career, I have been really good at seeing what's now and how that intersects with what's new, and then position what we are doing for what's next. That's what I want to help you do as well. And so right now, as we sit here today, there's a new dawn upon us, if you will. And it's a really exciting time in this new dawn. And I would call this new dawn specifically the dawn of the micro-influencer. What does that mean? Let me explain it to you, okay? So you don't have to be one of the gurus or influencers. You don't have to be one of the people like a Dane Cook, right? Dane Cook, huge comedian. Just give me Dane's name. Type Dane in the box if you know Dane Cook. Okay, huge comedian, massive following, sold out Madison Square Garden like 5 nights in a row, 733,000 followers on Instagram. Guess what? 4.9 thousand on Clubhouse specifically. Okay, I'm going to run through these so you can see it. Logan Paul, 18.9 million followers on Instagram, 18,000 followers on Clubhouse. Okay, how about his brother, Jake Paul, 14.7 million followers on Instagram, 9.2 thousand followers on Clubhouse. Let's keep going. All right. How about Joe Rogan, right? The biggest podcaster of our time, $100 million deal with Spotify, 12.3 million followers on Instagram, 24,000 followers, almost 25,000 followers on Clubhouse. And here's me. And I'm not showing this to you to brag, but I just simply want you to know that I have never been like one of those big, huge influencers, not, the Jake Paul, Logan Pauls, Joe Rogans, etc. You saw the nose in the box, right? There are a lot of people who are watching right now who had no idea who I was before I started 15 minutes ago, or however long we've been going now. I built up a following that is commensurate with what you see a lot of these other influencers have, which means that as we look at it from the standpoint of the dawn of the micro-influencer, I want you to think about it this way. We have a level playing field, people. We have the opportunity to compete in this new arena in ways that we could not compete before. Can I get an amen in the box, right? I mean, like, this is a brand new day. This is an opportunity for you to be able to be on equal footing with people that you have admired and respected and watched do whatever they've done over the course of however many years. This is a level playing field. And for those of you who are thinking like, oh, is it too late? Hell no, it's not too late. You are hearing my voice right now. You are seeing me look into the camera. You are hearing me on Clubhouse, wherever you are. This means you are in the embryonic stages, just like me in this game. And the people who take action now are going to see massive returns for years to come. Now, many of you are here because you were introduced to me perhaps through Podcast Magazine, or one of my partners suggested that you subscribe to Podcast Magazine and pick up a free lifetime subscription. Hopefully you've had a chance to do that. If you haven't yet grabbed a free lifetime subscription to Podcast Magazine, please do. And this is our gift to you. We would love for you to join us for the Podcast Magazine journey. Real simple. You can just go to audiodomination.com/Steve and then the number 1. So audiodomination.com/Steve and then the number 1. And you can join us for that journey. We'd love to have you as a part of that. But hopefully most of you that are here have taken advantage of that gift. And so thank you for that. And I will just simply introduce myself very, very briefly here, again, to take it a little bit beyond sort of the CompuServe and What Is Your What, and the book that I put on the New York Times list, right? All that fun stuff. And again, my name is Steve Olsher, and really in a few short years, I have been able to do things that, frankly, it kind of even surprises me to some extent that some of the things that I've done are things that frankly didn't exist before. But this is where I'm saying there are always opportunities no matter where you are on the spectrum. Like Podcast Magazine. We launched Podcast Magazine just over a year ago, and we've now built it into the premier publication for covering the world of podcasts, podcast culture, the world of podcasting, et cetera. And all of the people that you're seeing here, Jenna Kutcher and Adam Carolla, and well, there's me, and people like Michelle Goodwin and so many, many, many others are people that I've all had an opportunity to sit down with, and they've graciously opened their doors for me to sit down with them and interview them. And these are people that I wouldn't have had access to just on the merits of my podcast alone. So in the last year and a few months now, we've built this into a fairly substantial publication that has the respect of industry peers and people who have products and programs and services, the platforms, et cetera, et cetera. This didn't exist a year and a half ago, and our goal is to make this into sort of the Rolling Stone, if you will, for the music industry. Well, Podcast Magazine will be that for, and is that for, the podcast industry. We've also, as I said, been able to take advantage of the opportunities here in social audio. And again, all this has happened here in a very short period of time. And now we've got over 50,000 members and followers as a part of Club Pod. And every single week I'm sitting down with people like Amy Porterfield and Tim Story, who are coming on to Club Pod and joining us for the Lunch with the Legends series, Pat Flynn and Hal Elrod and many, many others. I've also, and I'm not saying this to brag, but I've also had the opportunity to have a number of people that you hear from on a consistent basis come through my world. People that I have trained, people that I have helped, people that I have guided. Many of the podcasters that you know and listen to today have come into my world to learn from me at an event that we used to do called the New Media Summit. That's kind of now evolved. But people like Nathan Latka came to the New Media Summit. J.B. Crum came to the New Media Summit. Michael Neely. I mean, we can go on and on and on. You can see who's here. Justin Shank and Debbie Dashinger. I mean, you can look at the pictures, and Doug Sandler. I mean, these are all people that you probably listen to, all people that have come through my community that I have helped and I have guided to become better podcasters and really leverage the business of podcasting to get to 6 and even 7 figures with their business. And I've had thousands of people come through my programs. Again, whether it's a live event or whether it's a launch your podcast, we help people launch their shows. And of course, we train people virtually as well. And so I'm only sharing this with you because, again, I realize that some of you don't know who I am necessarily. And I just want you to know that this is something that I live, eat, and breathe. This is something that our team lives, eats, and breathes. And we have been an active part of the new media community for a number of years. And we continue to be incredibly bullish on the opportunity that is available through the world of podcasting and now social audio as well. And yeah, we always have a lot of fun at our events, and you can play Where's Waldo and kind of find me in there somewhere, but always a rocking good time. So let's get back to the easy button of what we're talking about here, which is how can you create impact and income at the speed of your voice? And harking back again to the simpler times, right? Where it was simply just a matter of you are speaking and engaging with people and just being who you are, being raw and real and authentic, and people connecting with you in that deep way. And that's all it took. None of these fancy funnels, none of this big, huge setup. Now with Clubhouse and with the other, platforms, it's just so easy, and it's easier than ever. And so what I want you to understand, though, is that although it may seem like this is kind of this brand new, shiny object, if you will, it's really an opportunity for you to simplify your life, to really make things a hell of a lot easier. Like Deb and I were talking about that before. I mean, we're scrambling to get this cord into this and get this into that, and like the lights and the kid, it's just everything. And even when you guys came on here a little earlier, you may have seen, that even a couple minutes before we were like, oh, wait a minute, we're live. So there's so many moving parts in this world but not in the world of social audio and not in the world of podcasting 2.0. So you really have the opportunity to simplify your life and eliminate your struggles, to gain more visibility, to build your community, to elevate your status and your authority, and to secure highly, highly targeted leads. And of course, attracting your most ideal prospects, those you're most compelled to serve, and generate clients and revenue. And so this is what's possible, right? Like Kelly Filardo, who's part of our Icon Maker. It's a higher level program that we have called Icon Maker. And she's one of our Icon Maker students. She was trying to fill a live event. And Kelly's an amazing woman. She actually got severely burned when she was younger, and she's partially deaf. And I mean, just an amazing, strong woman who now helps people share their stories through books. And so she had a live event coming up to help aspiring authors get their books done and get them out into the world. And she came to us and was just saying, hey, like, what's something I can do to get some people to show up for this virtual event? And we just said, hey, go on Clubhouse, right? Go on Clubhouse. Just do a random Clubhouse room. Start talking to people. Just be raw, be real, be authentic. And let's see what happens. And so it might be a little tough for you to read, so I'll just read it for you. She said, Clubhouse works. I did a random Clubhouse room an hour ago called, Are You an Aspiring Author? Ask Your Questions Here. She said, thanks, Steve, for that suggestion. And she had 2 people grab tickets for her event, which took place in April, earlier this month, actually just last week. And she said it was a small group, but it produced results, so that's all that matters. And then she put her ticket link in the profile, et cetera, et cetera. But she said, get your feet wet and try Clubhouse if you haven't already. It's fun. What I am excited to tell you about is that the 2 people who grabbed those tickets for that event, actually, she did this a few more times, and she ended up with 60 people at her event. The large majority came through Clubhouse because she followed our process and followed our system. What does that mean? It means she showed up, she shared her brilliance, she helped people, she got results. What did she spend for ads? 0. What did she spend, in terms of doing any sort of other promotions? 0. 0 spend, 60 people, and we're just waiting to get the final results, but she did really, really well. And this is what's possible. This is what's possible when the business of podcasting intersects with the power of social audio, and when inspired and decisive action is taken with clear intention. Okay? And so this whole world of podcasting 2.0 really fits seamlessly into your life. And you get to decide. You get to decide how much you want to do this. You want to do it an hour a day? Great. You want to do it a couple hours a day? Great. You get to decide from where you want to do this. You can do it with the phone in your hand, no hair, no makeup, right? No fancy lighting, no video, nothing at all that used to be required in those more even like the funnels. There's no funnel here. You come on, you share your brilliance. You invite people into a conversation. You close them on the sale. Type the word easy in the box for me right now. Type the word easy. Easy, right? Type the word easy in the box for me right now if this sounds good to you, because that's what we're talking about. The rules of the game have changed. Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know this or not. 90 days ago or so, we started playing around with this, like I said, getting some really good results. After we saw what was going on here, 30 days ago, we completely changed course. This Audio Domination Masterclass that we're in right now, this would have been the Profiting from Podcasts Masterclass. But we changed gears 30 days ago and changed everything. The presentations, absolutely everything with this launch changed. And we knew we had to do that because that's how quickly this world is moving. And 90 days from now, those who take action are going to see results like you can't even imagine. But again, the bottom line here is that this is easy. And when something is easy, a lot of people are going to get in that game. And there's a small window of opportunity here for you, especially if you're an iPhone user. And if you're not an iPhone user, grab an iPad, because for right now, Clubhouse is still iPhone only, right? So that'll change, and that'll change really, really soon. So a double-edged sword. It's going to be great when Android comes online because a lot more people will be online. But at the same token, you're going to have a lot more people online. So it's great for you if you get in now, because you'll start to build that following. You'll start to build those relationships. And when Android does come online, that will springboard you, that will propel you forward. But again, just think about it in terms of, you don't need all of the fancy equipment. You don't need to be famous. And actually, it's better if you're not. There is a huge movement going on right now in cancel culture, right? I mean, there is a lot of celebrity backlash. This is the dawn of the micro influencer. It's a brand new day. You don't need to be an author. If you're an author, that's cool though. I mean, you can certainly do a book tour on Clubhouse and in the various rooms and clubs and so on. We just had Tim Story on. He ended up selling hundreds of books as a result of just coming into our room. He sold thousands of books in another room that I know he was in, and he sold more books than that with the other rooms, right? But you don't have to be an author. You don't have to be a speaker. You don't need to have a TED Talk. You don't need to have an email list. You don't need to have a big social media following. Like I said, you don't need to have a high traffic website or be a marketing wizard or any of this, fancy technology. Literally, this is all that you need. All that you need to become influential and grow your business is the phone in your hand and one of these, right? Or more specifically, you need a mouth, you need a message, and you need a microphone. The phone in your hand is your microphone. You have a mouth, you have a message, you have a phone, you can win. Give me 3 M's in the box. The number 3 and then M. Give me 3 M in the box right now if you have the 3 M's, the mouth, the message, and a microphone. Awesome. Thank you for that. So what I love most about where we're going and what the intersection here is with social audio and podcasting is that it's, again, hearkening back to simpler days where all that you need to be is who you already are. Raw, real, and authentic. Those are the 3 most important words of the day. Raw, real, and authentic. If you're raw, and if you can be real, and you can be authentic, give me an RRA in the box right now. Give me an RRA in the box right now. Okay, awesome. That's what I love so much about this. There's no pretense. It's not people in fancy mansions with sporty cars and all this. You can't game this system. Why? Because the connection that you make with people is based on the words that come out of your mouth. And it's just as simple as that. You connect with people by being who you naturally, inherently are. Period. And you try to do this, that, or the other. People, for whatever reason, when they hear it in your voice, they can tell BS, right? When they hear it. And they'll run in the other direction. So just by being who you naturally are and talking about what puts fire in your soul in a raw, real, and authentic way, you will connect with people on a deep, meaningful level. That's what's possible here as we look at the rise of podcasting 2.0. And so the question is, how can you step into this new future? How can you talk about what it is that you love, right? And really just find that intersection of what you love and what you're good at and what you can make money doing simply by talking. That's what we're talking about here today, is the code, right? The code that we've cracked in terms of the intersection of podcasting and the business of podcasting and where it intersects with social audio, right? Because if you think about it, there are people right now who have pretty solid podcasts and are also dancing in the world of social audio. And these are people that we play with and I am in communication with on a consistent basis, sharing best practices, strategies. I mean, almost all the time, we're talking about where this is going and what is possible for us, what's possible for you, and what's possible for this world and this new medium at large. People like Billie Jean. Many of you might know Billie Jean. And I can't really circle here, but I want to just point your attention to the fact that it says follows you, which means he follows me, right? People like Pat Flynn, huge podcaster, who's definitely getting into the world of social audio as well. Again, follows me. Michael Stelzner, the creator of Social Media Marketing World, Johnny Lee Dumas, Mario Armstrong, Amy Porterfield, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sharing these with you because I want you to see that podcasters today, a lot of the podcasters that you know and love are really embracing this world of social audio and are a part of my community, people that I'm in contact with on a consistent basis, and all follow me. I'm not, again, saying that to brag, but I just want you to understand that if you're going to get into this world, let someone who has already been to the mountaintop take you there, right? So those are the podcasters that are jumping into the mix of social audio. But let's look at the sort of the again, if you look at it from the standpoint of the dawn of the micro influencer, let's look at it from the standpoint of people that you may not know, right? People like Christian Bordeaux, who works at PlayStation. Like he's a tech guy, not really an influencer in any way, just kind of behind the scenes in the world of Sony. He's built up the CH Town Hall Club in a pretty decent following, starting literally from scratch. Like Natasha Grano, same person, huge moderator. Brittany Mitchellchuk, I never know how to pronounce her name, right? I mean, you know Brittany, right? Yeah. So, I mean, again, started from zero with absolutely no following. And the point being that these are all people that I am in conversation with on a consistent basis. And pretty much anytime I go on to Clubhouse, people like Christian and Natasha and Brittany, et cetera, bring me up on stage to share my thoughts on the subject as well. Why does that matter to you? It matters to you because ultimately, I want to show you exactly what to do here so that you can crush it in this landscape of audio, right? Again, the intersection of social audio and podcasting. And I am in communication with the top podcasters, the top social audio folks on a very consistent basis on a lot of those stages in a lot of those rooms. So let's think about it this way, which is our reach in terms of you and I and everyone else, right, is extended in incredible ways in a very short period of time. And this is what's possible for you too, is to literally pick up your phone and to be able to connect with people literally almost anywhere on the planet. And this, in just over a year, has allowed me to create this really thriving community of creators and podcast enthusiasts and people who love social audio, right? I mean, people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Lewis Howes and Joel Comm, people like Dave Ramsey and Jocko and iHeartMedia bringing me in, and Adam Carolla and Jillian Michaels and Russell Brunson. I mean, on and on and on. These are all the people that I am in constant communication with and gathering the information, just being in their circles and our masterminding and brainstorming together to be able to share with you the top tools and strategies and things that you need to be doing in this world in order to take full advantage of this opportunity at hand. So let's back up for a second here and again, talk about Podcast Magazine. How many of you guys, I'm just curious, how many of you guys right now have a podcast? Just give me a yes in the box if you have a podcast right now. Just curious, how many of you have a podcast right now? Okay, so a lot of you have podcasts. Good. So whether you have a podcast or are an aspiring podcaster, how many of you would like to be featured in an upcoming issue of Podcast Magazine? Just give me a 2 in the box if you want to be featured in an upcoming issue of Podcast Magazine. Okay, yeah, good. Lots of you want to be featured, absolutely. Those are the types of things that we can make happen for you. As a matter of fact, stick with me here just for a little while, and I'm going to share with you exactly how I can make that happen for you much sooner rather than later. Okay, so hold tight with me on that. And I just want to share one more thing around the world of social audio and why I'm so bullish about it. A lot of my peers are so bullish about it. A lot of the people who I showed you in the photos are so bullish about it. And it really just boils down to one particular word. And that word is sticky. And stickiness is a term that is used in the vernacular of people who talk a lot about online marketing and so on to address the amount of time that people spend on a particular platform. Okay. So when something is very sticky, it means that the engagement levels are high. And it means that people are spending an inordinate amount of time on a particular page or website or platform if it is sticky. Okay. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because we haven't seen rates of stickiness like what we're seeing with Clubhouse in probably forever, like literally forever. And so here's a screenshot. You can see 5 hours in 16 minutes, right? In terms of the amount of time spent on Clubhouse. And I could have shown you a million examples of these different screenshots from different people, and you see that the numbers are astronomical. The good news is for you that the people that you are most compelled to serve, your most ideal prospects, your most ideal clients, are spending ample amount of time on the platform. You don't have to do that. Literally in an hour a day, or maybe 2 hours a day max, you can reach a tremendous number of people if you do this the right way. And let me just share this with you. So here are a few rooms that I recently held. Okay, one is a room, don't even remember how long ago, it's about a month ago, right? 51 minutes. Over the course of those 51 minutes, there were 254 people that came through this room. Here's a room we did, just a really quick little pop-up room, 18 minutes, 202 listeners came through that room. Here's a much bigger room that I did with Roger Love and Craig Clements and others. Look at the bottom stat. 8,414 people took a listen to that room in under 2 hours. Here's a room that went just over 2 hours. We did it again, another 2,800 people. Here's a room with Deb. Deb, you were in this room, right? Another room with Roger Love and others. You see that one? 912, just about an hour and a half. An hour and 10 with Tim Story, over 400 listeners. And another room that we did with over 1,600 listeners in under 2 hours. Why am I sharing this with you? Because how many of you guys do live events? Just give me a yes, or give me the word live. Give me the word live in the box. Deb does live events. Give me the word live in the box if you do live events. Let me see how many of you guys do live events. Oh, a lot of you guys do live events. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. You know what it takes to get, I mean, can you imagine 1,600 people, right? 8,000 people. What would the cost be to do an event where you had 8,000 people at that event, even a 400-person event? We've done events for a long time. And I will tell you that if you want to do an event where you had 400 people attend, the amount of time that you would spend on marketing, the amount of money that you would spend just to let people know about the event, you'd have to create a website, you'd have to sell tickets. I mean, it's a full-blown process. You can literally open up a room on Clubhouse on a moment's notice. Now, I'm not saying you can get to these exact numbers, but I am saying that it's possible. How do I know that it's possible? Because I did it. And I started from zero just a few short months ago. This is what's possible for me. This is what's possible for my peers. This is what's possible for you as well. Okay? So the rise of podcasting 2.0. That's why I'm so bullish about this, because the world of podcasts continues to grow. That pie continues to expand. As of last count, there were over 2 million podcasts, which is great. The more the merrier. The more people are talking about podcasts, the more people are listening to podcasts. That's great for all of us. And the business of podcasting specifically is exploding as well, and it will continue to grow. Business Insider estimates that by the end of 2021, podcasting will be $1 billion industry. And so compared to 2020, eMarketer says that the number of podcast listeners in the US has increased by 16%. This is explosive growth, and this is really exciting for all of us who want to create impact and income at the speed of our voice, okay? And where we're at right now is we're in this evolutionary phase. If you think about it from the standpoint of there was audio kind of 1.0, with things like audiobooks. How many of you guys either have listened to an audiobook or a podcast or tuned into internet radio? Just give me a yes in the box if you've done any of these things, right? I mean, I'm sure that the answer is yes, right? Audiobooks, podcasts, internet radio, et cetera. Yeah. I mean, that was really kind of the phase of what we might call audio 1.0. And in this evolving landscape of audio 2.0, you see a lot of things with pre-recorded audio, right? Again, like podcasts or platforms like Headspace, where that audio content is pushed out to the listeners. And now you've got things that are a little more kind of revolutionary, right? Like with Alexa as an example, and being able to use your voice in an interactive way. Hey, Alexa, do this. Hopefully Alexa won't go on in here, but right, those sort of things. I know, sorry, Alexa. And now you have more of this intersection of two-way communication with platforms around social audio, that are raw and real and authentic. And ultimately, it's the evolution of audio that is leading us into what I will call podcasting 2.0, where you have the opportunity to reach those you are most compelled to serve, leveraging the power of social audio plus the business of podcasting. And so here's really what's possible for you. Grow your audience, elevate your status, attract zero-cost leads, and ultimately generate serious cash. So let's talk about how you can grow your audience, right? Because at the end of the day, what I know to be true is that visibility really is the lifeblood of your business. And so, I mean, look, it may not be next week, it may not be next month, it may not be next year, but at some point, if your business runs out of visibility, you go out of business, right? And we are always looking at ways to generate visibility for our company, whether it be through Podcast Magazine or through our own podcasts or through social audio, et cetera, et cetera. You have to have visibility. And that's the only way that you would generate highly targeted leads and revenue, right? Is having that visibility. So if visibility is the lifeblood of your business, then ultimately I would say that your voice is the heartbeat of your growth. Okay? And when you're looking at it from the standpoint of how do I differentiate who I am from others who are doing similar things, you have to think about it insofar as how can I elevate my status? How do I become what I would call a category of one, right? So that when people are talking about a particular subject, you are that person that comes to mind. So how do you elevate your status, right? How do you transform ultimately from kind of feeling like the world's best kept secret? Actually, give me the word secret in the box right now. If you kind of feel like the world's best kept secret, like you know that you can help people, you know you're great at what you do, and you just simply need more people to know about you. Right? Give me the word secret in the box if you can relate to that. Okay, yeah, I hear you. I totally get that. And ultimately, our goal for you here right now is to help you shift to being able to monetizing your voice and making your impact and literally just jumping in and starting. Because I will tell you that the people that have just jumped in and started are the people who are making headwaves already in this new evolving landscape of podcasting 2.0. And so again, when we think back on all of the things that we have been told, you know, and I'm not trying to knock anybody down. I'm not trying to do that. But I will say that things have become so complex with the funnels and the videos and you name it, on and on and on. And you literally have the ability right now to attract zero-cost leads with nothing more than your words. And over the years, I mean, I have helped thousands of entrepreneurs consistently turn their visibility into cash. Because what I will tell you is that visibility for visibility's sake doesn't make sense to me. If people are going to invest the time, if you're going to invest the time into sharing your brilliance, and you are the solution to someone else's problem. Matter of fact, if you know that you are the solution to someone else's problem, type the word solution for me in the box right now. Type the word solution in the box for me right now. Yeah, exactly. And so if you know that you are the solution to someone else's problem, and there are people who are literally praying for you to show up in their lives, then what I believe to be true is that when you show up in their lives and you help to solve their problems, and they can get up off of their knees and stop praying, they should absolutely pull out their wallet and start paying, because you should be compensated extraordinarily well for what comes as naturally to you as breathing. I mean, look, if a ball player can get paid millions of dollars to hit a ball with a stick, I mean, why shouldn't you be paid extraordinarily well for what it is that you do as well as that ball player? And so I am all of the mindset that you have the ability, and we teach this on a consistent basis, You have the ability to turn visibility into cash. And you don't have to do it in a slimy way or in a salesy way or a way that feels inauthentic. I mean, you can do like Duff did, I mean, just Duff simply went on, shared his brilliance. Somebody booked a strategy call. That's all he did. He went on, shared his brilliance, and said, hey, if this is interesting to you, here's my calendar link. Book a call and let's talk. Somebody booked a call. They ended up investing $2,000 into one of his programs and went on to invest another $5,000 in other programs simply by Duff doing what he does best, which is sharing in a raw, real, and authentic way, and somebody resonating with that message and saying, you know what? I like you, and I'd like to connect with you, and I'd like for you to help me. That's what's possible for you as well. And what I will tell you is that this works for anyone, absolutely anyone, no matter your niche. I don't care how narrow your niche is, or even what your level of experience is, because you're simply doing what you do best, which is being exactly who you are. And so what I know to be true, and we're going to be covering this over the 4-part series here of the Audio Domination Masterclass, is that you got this. You can do this. This can work, I guarantee, for you, because I've watched it work time and time again for so many others over the last, however many months now that we've been diving in here. And what I know to be true further is that in times of disruption, and these are disruptive times that we are in right now, fortune favors the bold. Those who take clear, decisive action, those who see the opportunity and move forward in the direction of where that opportunity is. And so we're at the dawn of a new day. I mean, we really are at the dawn of a new day. And what I would like to say here is that I think we're breaking new ground. As a matter of fact, I know we're breaking new ground. We have never seen anything like this, at least not in my lifetime. And perhaps, not in yours as well. And so we're breaking new ground here. No doubt at all about that. And what I want to help you do is I want to help you take full advantage of this opportunity at hand. So I'm going to leave ample time here for Q&A. And I know I saw a lot of questions coming through the box. A lot of questions coming through the box. So I'm going to ask for your questions. And if my team, and if we got questions on Facebook, we got questions on Clubhouse, I want to be able to answer those questions as well. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do here is, as a reward for you being with me here live, we're going to stick around. I'm going to go as long as we need to go here, and I'm going to answer your questions around part 1 of the Audio and Domination Masterclass. But what I'm also going to ask my team to do here is we're going to stop the recording. Okay, not just we'll take care of it, but because you're here live with me right now, I want to go deeper with you as a reward of being here, and it's my way of saying thank you. So we're going to do some Q&A. We're going to do some additional training here. I'm going to share another strategy with you here in just a little bit that I know you're going to find to be super, super helpful to jump into the mix here as well. So if you're watching the recording, I will just simply say thank you for being here, and I will talk to you really, really soon. Okay, so that's that. All right, so now let's get into some Q&A, and let's also reward you for being here. And what I want to make sure that I give you the opportunity to do, and again, as we're breaking new ground here, we're doing something that I haven't ever seen anybody else do quite in the way that we're doing it here during this launch, which is right out of the gate. If you know you're one of those people that would love to work with me and my team, I want to give you the opportunity to do so. And we've got a huge bonus package set up for those who are fast action and fast and decisive action takers who know an opportunity when they see it and they want to dive straight in. So I want to give you the opportunity to be the first people to learn about audio domination, which is, again, this is the Audio Domination Masterclass, and we're in the process right now of compiling the most comprehensive and current training available for leveraging the combined power of podcasting and social audio. So I want to take a couple minutes and tell you about this. And again, give you the opportunity to get a bonus package that we are not giving to anyone else through this launch. It's just our way of saying thank you for being here with us on this first training. And I'm going to hang out, answer questions as well. So we'll get to that here in a second. But let me just simply give you an understanding of what audio domination is because I know there are some of you here right now who want to jump in sooner rather than later. And I will also tell you that we've got bonuses that we're including for you for being here that aren't going to be available to others later as well. So it's the only time you're going to see this particular bonus package put together. So audio domination is comprised of a number of different pieces. So it's a comprehensive training that includes various pieces of the puzzle. The main piece, of course, is the audio domination training. And so it's a 6-week intensive that I personally lead, where I will take you through this new billion-dollar opportunity to really leverage the power and the combined power of podcasts and social audio to grow your business, to grow your audience, attract zero-cost leads, and generate serious cash. So what's in audio domination? It's a 6-module, 6-week training. And we're going to start really with where we need to start in any training, which is identifying your biggest opportunity, identifying that foundational piece that you need to be clear on in order to build something that is sustainable and scalable. So to dominate in the landscape of audio and to create a 6 or 7-figure business, you really do need to have intentional focus, right? So we're going to get you really dialed in and clear on what your topic of influence is, the 1 or 2 words that describes what you do and what you focus on, so that you can have clarity around the conversation that you most want to be a part of, so that even when you're not in a room, people talk about you and associate your name with that particular topic. So we're going to get you really clear on what that conversation is and what your topic of influence is. And then, of course, help you get clear on the initiatives, right? What are the initiatives that you need to pursue so that you can attract your perfect client? So module 1 is the foundational module. And now the rubber starts to meet the road, because in module 2, if you really want to dominate in the world of audio, you have to have a clear understanding of the rapidly evolving audio landscape. As I said, even just 90 days ago, it didn't even look as it looks right now. So in module 2, we're going to dive really deep into the world of podcasting 2.0. We're going to talk about the new opportunities that social audio offers, as far as Clubhouse and Fireside. And I'm one of the early Fireside creators as well, in a very, very, very early program there. So I've got a great understanding of Clubhouse and Fireside, as well as Twitter Spaces and the other new and emerging platforms. And we'll also cover the equipment, right? So what is the equipment that you'll need to sound amazing on these platforms? Module 3, now we're going to shift into landing stages, winning stages, landing those coveted podcast appearances in those social audio stages. So I want you to imagine what it would be like for you and your business to land those coveted podcast appearances and literally social audio stages at will. And this is absolutely possible for you. And so we're going to be talking about my specific strategy. I'm going to train you on my specific strategy for winning these virtual stages, a strategy that I've leveraged over the past 10 years to land over 500 podcast appearances, and more recently, over 50 of the largest Clubhouse stages, not including the rooms that we do in Club Pod in my own rooms. And I'm going to dissect for you this, what I would call now a perfected process, and lay out for you step by step this concrete game plan that you can implement so that you can achieve similar success. Okay? Module 4, we're going to now talk about how do you turn visibility into cash, and more specifically, something that we call the $1,000 funnel. Because appearing on coveted stages is great. I mean, it's step 1. But converting the visibility that you receive into red hot leads and cash in your pocket, that's really paramount to your podcasting 2.0 success. So we're going to cover one of my favorite and proven strategies for shifting passive listeners into active leads and customers. And we call this the $1,000 funnel. And in the next training, I'm actually going to go into great detail about what the $1,000 funnel is. And here's where it gets a lot of fun, which is, as an audio domination student, we are actually going to give to you our fully built out $1,000 funnel. So we're going to work together to customize yours. I'm going to step you through it. I'm going to train you on it. But we are literally going to give you all of the pages, everything that you need fully built out. So we are giving you a fully built out, proven to convert funnel that we will literally push into your account, so you don't have to do anything other than just change a few words and it's yours. Module number 5, now we're going to shift into the business of podcasting 2.0. And I will tell you that few podcasters, few social audio creators are going to be able to turn their show or their social audio presence into a business. Think about it from this standpoint. Very, very few podcasters can turn their podcast into a business. Why? Because it's based on the number of downloads. People will pay you $25 or $50 or whatever it is per 1,000 downloads. Very few podcasters have enough downloads to make that, even worthwhile to keep the lights on. But what I will tell you is that every creator has the ability to leverage the business of audio to create the life and the business they've dreamt of. So during this incredibly in-depth module, what we're going to cover is the business of audio, and specifically the 7 core initiatives that fuel our 7-figure plus business. And we're going to go through the exact processes of each that you can model to achieve extraordinary results. And let me just also say, I'm always kind of like wondering about the whole term module and if that even really makes sense to use anymore for online courses. Because when I'm talking about a module, I'm talking about a series, a set of training. So it's not just like one video or something of that nature. In this case, in this particular module, we've got multiple trainings that we will be doing around each of these pieces of the puzzle. And I'm going to break down exactly for you what we are doing, those 7 core initiatives that fuel our 7-figure plus business. And then lastly, we're going to talk about creating your own stages, because I want you to think about this for a second. Imagine just how your business and your life would transform if every time you spoke about what puts fire in your soul, you generated income and impact, right? And you can do that at the speed of your voice. And so the audio domination system absolutely makes this possible for you. And so in this module, in this set of trainings, what we're going to be talking about is how to create a top rated and a highly engaging podcast. We're going to talk about today's best strategies and tactics for increasing your podcast listenership. How do you secure more 5-star ratings and reviews? How do you build a meaningful social audio following? How do you launch a niche defining club and generate leads and revenue from every episode and from every social audio room? So that is the audio domination training. Again, we're delivering this live, so you will have access to me throughout this entire process. It's the modules, it's the course, it's the personal guidance. And the other things that we're including that I think you're going to find pretty darn appealing are a lot of the tools that you need in order to make all of this work for you. For example, we're going to give to you our Icon Maker closing script. This is a 7-page script that we have painstakingly developed over time. So when you go out and you share your brilliance and you're talking about what puts fire in your soul and you invite someone into a conversation, how do you enroll that person into a relevant product, program, or service? Well, we are going to give you the exact closing script that we typically reserve only for our Icon Maker students who pay $36,000 a year to be a part of that program. We're going to give you that exact script. And I will tell you that this script has generated millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue. So we're going to give you this exact script. We're also going to give you our sponsorship. So if you're looking to have sponsors, either for your podcast or for Clubhouse, we are going to give you our exact sponsorship contract so that you don't have to recreate the wheel. And if you're looking to launch a club, and I know this is of interest to some people because we've gotten notes about, hey, we want to launch a club. Can you help us to do that? That's a part of what we're going to be doing here as well. And a big part of this process is making sure that you've got an admin agreement in place so that you can really scale your club, because you can't do this on your own if you want to have a club with thousands and thousands of people in it. So we're going to actually give you our exact admin agreement for Club Pod that you can model for your own club. That'll save you an enormous amount of time, energy, and resources. Okay? So number 2, we're also going to give you our detailed Profiting from Podcast course. This is the course that I created to help you land coveted appearances on top podcasts and how to turn those appearances into leads and revenue. So this is a detailed course. I think it's 9 modules in total. And we go through the whole process step by step, again, about how to land those coveted appearances and how to turn that visibility into revenue. And number 3, the third thing that we're going to give you in audio domination, and I'm pretty excited about this, is look, and let me just say that yes, I love being a podcast host. Yes, I love having my own social audio rooms. Equally so, I love being a guest on other people's podcasts, and I love being a guest in other social audio rooms. What does this mean? Why am I sharing this with you? Because we're going to actually book you on podcasts. So this is something that we're including for the first time. We've been asked to do this before. We said, you know what? Fine. Let's do this, and let's see how it goes. This is the first time that we've ever done this, which is we are actually going to include for you 2 done for you podcast bookings. So my team will actually book you on 2 shows. And if you use the $1,000 funnel and generate $1,000 in revenue from that appearance, that's $2,000 in revenue from the shows that we're going to book for you. Okay. In addition, we're going to create a custom email pitch for you and a media one sheet, a custom media one sheet. And perhaps you've seen these before. And if not, this will be a great addition to your repertoire, because every coach, author, speaker, podcaster, business owner, really, if you want to appear on shows, to be on the media, on TV, radio, et cetera, so you need a media one sheet. So my team is going to create this media one sheet for you. As a matter of fact, the same team that created my media one sheet is going to create that media one sheet for you. So, I mean, this is easily, when you include the bookings and the media one sheet and the custom pitch, I mean, it's easily $1,000 value, if not much more. And I'm super excited because you guys are the first ones to see that we have created a brand new piece of software that actually books podcasts for you. Let me show you exactly what this looks like in real time. Hopefully the audio will come through here, but let me see if I can get this to play, and hopefully you'll be able to hear this. Let me turn up my volume and just make sure that that is on. All right, the volume is up. All right, let's see if we can get this to play.
Hey, everybody. I have a challenge.
Just give me a yes in the box if you can hear it.
Let's say you're a person who wants to show up on podcasts and get interviewed about personal wealth. It's your business.
Okay, good.
You want to grow your brand. So here's the challenge. Go and find those podcasts that you want. Find a podcast about personal wealth that has at least 10 episodes, has at least 4 reviews, and is in the English language. Let's see how long it'll take you. While you're doing that, I'm going to click the search button here in what we've built, so you can see how long it takes us in order to find all these podcasts for you. We're done. Look at this. I just found 4,993 podcasts that talk about personal wealth, have at least 10 episodes, have at least an average review of 4, and are in English. These are people you can now pitch and appear on their podcast for. But we've taken it a step further than that. That's a lot of podcasts, right? 4,993. How do you know which ones are good? We have our own internal scoring system called the podcast score. Take a look at this. From 0 to 100, it scores all the podcasts. So you can see which ones. Oprah's Super Soul Conversations. Yeah, Oprah's obviously pretty high on this. Going all the way down. You can pinpoint the level you're at in your podcasting career, so you can kind of get on the right shows for you and your audience. You go down here, let's say, hey, 67, that's about where I want to be on. Not really sure. Let's go in here. Read the full description. Has their reviews, has the author, has everything. And now, just click on Add to Downloads. Click on that. You'll now download a spreadsheet, which will have the email, the names, the website, the description, and very shortly, we'll have the social media of that podcast. You can download 100 a month and get on tons and tons of shows. Hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So I don't know if you could hear that completely, but let me just share with you exactly what was said there. So we have created this podcast booking software. Remember how I said there are 2 million podcasts that are available right now? How do you know which are the best shows to approach? And even more so, once you say, okay, I want to approach this show, how do you get their contact information? It's just like you got to go through so many different hoops and so much rigmarole to get to the answers that you're looking for. So we developed a piece of software that literally does everything for you. So if you want to go onto a podcast that talks about, let's just say you're a finance guy and you help people with retirement, you can type in a keyword, retirement. How many ratings and reviews do you want to have? So if you don't want to go on a show that's only got like 2 ratings and reviews, and you just want to make sure you're on shows that have more than 100, have a minimum of 100 ratings and reviews. If you want to make sure that the last episode was released in the last 7 days, so you know it's a current show, pop that into the criteria. Whatever the criteria are that you want to put in, you pop it in, and it finds those exact shows for you. But more than that, it gives you all of their information as well. You download it, you've got it, and you're good to go. Because this was a request that we kept getting over and over and over again. How do we find relevant shows for us to be a guest on? Like, what is there an easier way to do this? And we said, you know what? Let's develop the software. So this is a brand new piece of software that we are developing right now, and you will get a 44-day free trial. You do have to include a credit card. It won't charge you at all. It'll be zero, right? But you have to include your credit card just to kind of avoid the spammers, and that's why we do it that way. And if you decide after the 44 days that you want to continue, it'll be $49 a month after that. But you can cancel, of course, at any time. And that is half of the cost that it will be for everyone else. Everyone else will be paying $99 a month. You're paying $49 a month. So that's roughly $50 a month over the course of a year. That's a value of at least $600, okay? So we're super excited about this podcast booking software. And like I said, it literally just does everything for you and it spits it all out. And you can then approach the shows that you most want to be a guest on. It will save you an enormous amount of time and energy. And remember how I talked about a bonus for you guys? Well, the bonus that we're going to include is if you become one of the first people to enroll here in Audio Domination, is we're going to include a feature in Podcast Magazine. So if you don't have a podcast now, we'll include it when you launch. You have one now, we'll get you in it now. So we're going to include a feature in Podcast Magazine for you, and super excited about that opportunity and to get you exposed to our tens and tens of thousands of readers as well. So all in, we got the Audio Domination training, right, which includes the 6 modules and all the trainings underneath that. It includes the resources, my personal guidance, etc. The Profiting from Podcasts trainings, that's a whole separate course. The Done For You podcast bookings, the podcast booking software, and the feature in Podcast Magazine, over $10,500 in real value. And right now, it's just $1,997. And I will say this, which is, and I forgot to say this, that the feature in Podcast Magazine is only for the first 24 people. So we're not going to do that for everyone. So if you're one of the first 24 people to enroll, you will get the Podcast Magazine feature. Okay, so the URL is joinadnow.com. So join Audio Domination now, but just AD. Joinadnow.com. And again, for the first 24 people, and my team will let me know where we're at. They'll let me know where we're at with that. But for the first 24 people, we will include the feature in Podcast Magazine as well. So again, it's join, JOIN, now.com. And if you have any questions at all, just email our team. Kelly@steveolsher.com is a great place to start, and then we can get it out to our team, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have around that. All right. Now, I also know that there are some of you who might want to work closer with me and my team. And so for those of you who would like more personal guidance, and there'll be personal guidance for sure in Audio Domination, but if you want even more personal guidance and you really want to come into our world on a more personal level, I'm really excited to introduce something that is brand spanking new. What we are calling the 1 million downloads mastermind. And this is brand new. You are literally the first people to see it. Matter of fact, the first people to see the logo and the whole night. Isn't that a cool logo? Kelly did an amazing job on that logo. Type a yes in the box if you like that logo. Isn't that a nice logo? So our 1 million downloads mastermind, what is it? It is a 12-month, it is a year-long immersive mastermind that I am leading along with guest faculty that I am bringing in. It's designed to help you and lead you step by step through today's best practices for growing your audience, for increasing downloads and generating leads and revenue, all while cultivating meaningful relationships with your new community of podcasting and social audio influencers. So if you are one of those people who has launched a show and you are committed to sticking with it, because we know about PodFade and we know what happens there, but if you have launched a show and you just haven't yet gotten the traction that you know you deserve and you really want to grow that audience, this is the mastermind for you. Or if you're just starting and you want to get into the game and you want to do it the right way and you want to get to 1 million downloads with your show, this is the right mastermind for you. And so I'm super excited about this because what we are including in the 1 million downloads mastermind is everything that's included in audio domination. So everything that I just went over with you in terms of what's in audio domination, you will also get in the 1 million downloads mastermind, plus direct access to me over the course of the entire year and the faculty that I'm bringing in. We'll be getting together via 10 monthly deep dive virtual sessions covering cutting edge podcasting, social audio, marketing, and promotional strategies. Plus, you'll hear from this amazing community of podcasters that we put together. And I will tell you that you don't have to have 1 million downloads to be a part of our mastermind, okay? Just so that we're clear on that. But all of the faculty that we have brought in absolutely do. So let me just make sure that it's clear, because I said 10 before and I want you to understand what that means. It means 10 months out of the year, once a month, I am personally leading a training around a particular strategy or tactic, et cetera, et cetera. So I will be personally leading that particular session. What are we going to do the other weeks, the other months, et cetera? Let me share with you in just a second here. But what I want you to understand is that you don't have to have 1 million downloads to be a part of this mastermind. But all of our faculty members have achieved that milestone, that magical milestone of 1 million downloads. And so we've assembled an all-star faculty to help you and guide you over the course of the next year. And there's just a highlight. We've got more faculty members coming on every single day. And so these are the types of people that you're going to be in community with throughout the entire year. People like Chell Hamilton, people like Michael O'Neill and Chris Bello and the team from the Spartan Up podcast. And again, all of these people have achieved that magical milestone of 1 million downloads. The criminology folks, of course, my team from Reinvention Radio, Wise Traditions, Jason Horton from Ghost Town, and the 365 Organized podcast, the team from Self Helpless, Halatala from Young and Profiting, and Brian Beatty, and I mean, Tyler Allen and Shane Salk and Lee Bar. I mean, on and on and on and on. We've just assembled an incredible faculty that are all going to be there to help you and guide you. And how is this going to happen? Of course, online. I'm going to be doing that once a month for 10 months. The other 2 months, we're going to be getting together in person for 2 days. So we have 2 in-person 2-day intensives that are going to be taking place in San Diego. If you can't attend in person, you can attend virtually, no problem. And in addition to that, the other weeks of the month, of the year, we're going to have weekly hot seat, accountability, and guidance sessions taking place once per week that are led by our senior coaches, Kelly and Duff. So if you follow that out, every single week, you will have a touch point with us, with the community, as a part of the 1 million downloads mastermind every single week. And twice a year, we're going to be getting together in person for 2 2-day intensives. And every day, you're going to have access to a private back channel community to be able to share your victories and seek input and exchange podcast appearances, clubhouse stages, secure ratings, reviews, downloads, subscribers, and much, much more. So what I know to be true is that we are going to have a community of people that will be supporting one another. How would it change your show if you had another 100 ratings and reviews, or another 200 ratings and reviews? If you had more downloads, if you have people coming into your clubhouse rooms, people inviting you onto their podcast, people inviting you onto their clubhouse stages, et cetera. All of these things are going to happen within our community because we're going to facilitate all of these things happening for you and with you. So again, you get everything that's included with Audio Domination, the 1 million downloads mastermind, plus the 10 monthly deep dive sessions that I lead, the 2 in-person 2-day intensives, the 40, so the weekly hot seat and accountability sessions that we're going to be doing with Kelly and Duff, and then our private back channel. Okay, over $59,000 in real value as part of the mastermind, plus anyone who comes into Audio Domination through the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, you will get the podcast magazine feature. Okay, so anyone who comes in the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, above and beyond the 24, doesn't matter, you will get the podcast magazine feature. In addition, anyone who comes into the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind will also get this podcast funnel, the $1,000 funnel that I referenced earlier, and we will push that directly into your account. And the third bonus, and this I'm only going to do for the first 50 people who come into the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, is you'll be able to take the stage with me on Clubhouse. Okay, again, only for the first 50. So you'll have an opportunity to come into Club Pod, to come onto the stage, and I'll introduce you. You'll be able to hang out, gain followers, et cetera, et cetera. So, but this is only for the first 50 people who come into the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind. So all in, over $68,000 in value. And what I will say is that we debated quite extensively on what to price this at. But because you're the first people to see this offer for the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, and because we really want to build a community of committed people, and you're obviously committed because we're now almost 90 minutes into this, and here you are. And thank you for still being here with me. There's hundreds of you still on with me right now, and I really appreciate you guys being here. We wanted to make this as easy as possible for you to say yes. So everything that is included in Audio Domination, you will receive as a part of the year-long 1 Million Downloads Mastermind. And this is the only time you will see us offer the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind for $79.97. Because when we do this again and we invite in the next group of people after this launch, this will be a $15,000 mastermind. But if you come into the mastermind now, you'll be grandfathered in. But the next group of people after this initial set, and this is and we're not opening this up to thousands of people. I mean, this will be a fairly intimate mastermind. Okay, so we have limited availability in terms of the number of people that we are bringing into the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, and anyone who comes in after this initial group will pay $15,000. You, as our way of saying thank you and for being here and hanging out with us in the Audio Domination Masterclass and part 1 and jumping in early, it's $79.97. So you can go to join1md.com. So the word join and then the number 1md.com, join1md.com. Now, if you have any questions at all about the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, what I would ask you to do is to book a call with our team. So if you go to 1milliondownloads.com, so ONE, milliondownloads.com, you can book a call with our team there, and they'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, we do ask for a $100 deposit. And why do we ask for that? Just to, make sure that you're committed to having a real conversation with our team about the mastermind. If we feel like it's not a fit, obviously the $100 will be refunded. And if it is a fit, then the $100 will be applied to the $79.97. So you can join right now at join1md.com. Or if you have questions and you want to set up a time to talk to our team, you can go to milliondownloads.com and you can set up a time to talk with the team. Now, the other thing that I will tell you is that we have payment plans. And we have payment plans that are available for both Audio Domination and the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind. So if you need a payment plan, we have a payment plan option for you. You'll see that on the page as well. All right, so like I said, I'm going to stick around here. I'm going to answer some questions. I saw a lot of questions come in. So my team, if you guys can feed me some of those questions, I'm going to hang out, answer. I'm happy to be here with you. And I'll just simply leave you with this, which is, as I said, this is the dawn of a new day. This is the dawn of the micro-influencer. This is the opportunity for you to generate income and impact at the speed of your voice. And we would really love the opportunity to be able to help you do that. So whether it's through Audio Domination, and at some point I should probably, maybe we'll write the links up here just so we have them up on the board. But whether it's through Audio Domination or the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, of course, we'd love to have you as a part of our community. And we'd love to have you as a part of what we've got going on here in the Audio Domination Masterclass as well. So this, again, is part 1. So part 2 will be taking place in just a couple days, and then part 3 a couple days later, and part 4. And so I'd love to hear from you in the box in terms of what was your biggest takeaway? What really hit home for you as far as this presentation is concerned? And will this work for nonprofits? Absolutely. Yeah, 100% this will work for nonprofits. I mean, it doesn't matter, again, what niche you're in, what level of influence you have, what your social media following, like none of that matters in this new world that we're living in as we look at the rise of podcasting 2.0. So absolutely, it would work for nonprofits. Let me do this. I want to actually let me take this down over here. Hold on here. Let me just take this down. There we go. Let me stop that share. Okay, so let me stop that share. All right, so here we are. So yeah, I want to hang out and answer questions that you guys have. So yeah, I know it's join1md.com, and I got to find what the other one is because I don't remember off the top of my head what the other one is. What is it? I can't remember. Kelly will tell us. Okay, so let me answer any questions that you have. And Kelly, if we got questions on Clubhouse or on Facebook Live or Duff, if we've got questions there, just fire them away to Deb. Maybe you guys can figure out how to coordinate, and then we'll get them in.
Kelly's on the text, so she's.
Kelly's on it. Okay.
I'm here.
There you are. See? What's up?
They can go to joinadnow.com or
That's
join1md.com.
Got it.
Join AD.
Joinadnow.com. Yep. Awesome. Okay. So, Kelly, give me any questions that you're seeing. Why don't you just read them off, what you've seen? Because I know I saw a lot of questions fire through the Q&A, and that's what we're going to do is answer them through the Q&A. If you guys are here live with us, then thank you for that. And of course you are, because you're here, so you're live. Okay. So, Kelly, why don't you fire away, and I'm going to start scrolling back through as well and see if I can find find some of those questions.
A popular one is whether or not they have to have an existing podcast before they get started in this.
Oh, absolutely not. No. As a matter of fact, it's probably better if you don't already have a podcast, because the reality is you'll do this the right way the first time if you don't already have an existing show. So not to say that, people who are a little further down the path, we can help you no matter where you are on the path. Our motto is no matter where you are on the path, you can go farther. And that's our job, to help you no matter where you are on that path. So what I would say to you is, if you don't have a show yet launched, that's perfectly fine, because you'll get it started the right way. And what I also know is that the world of social audio is a really great complement to your podcast. Because if you think about your podcast in terms of it being evergreen, right, which means that people can access those episodes whenever they want, from wherever they are at any time, that's your evergreen opportunity, right? Social audio is your FOMO, your fear of missing out, your one-time only type of opportunity. And so the two really do go side by side, go hand in hand. And there's a third option. And the third option is you have the ability to do your podcast episodes live on Clubhouse or on another social audio platform, which is what we do. So we actually do all of our episodes of Reinvention Radio live on Clubhouse, keep it really interactive, bring people up, ask questions, etc. And then we take that recording and we release that as an episode of Reinvention Radio. So we have become really good at that really, really quickly. And we'll step you through exactly what that can look like. So if you're one of those people that would love to kill two birds with one stone, by all means, think about doing it the way that we do it. Do your podcast episode live on Clubhouse or Fireside or one of the social audio channels, and then take that and release that through Evergreen as part of your podcast. So I hope that answers that question. Have we reached the first 24 yet? You know what? Just text me, Kelly, and give me a hint of where we're at as far as that goes. So first 24 for Audio Domination to get the podcast magazine feature. Anyone who comes into the 1 million downloads mastermind will get the podcast magazine feature. For those who come into the 1 million downloads mastermind, you also get the $1,000 funnel pushed into your account, and you will get stage time with me on Clubhouse for the first 50 people who come into the mastermind. So I hope that answers that question. Yeah, right. I know, Carmen, we've got the best event planner in the whole wide world. I mean, Deb is amazing. And look at this. It's, yeah. But here we go. I mean, this is an event with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, right? And so we're doing this on Clubhouse, and I don't even know what was going on Clubhouse. We did this on Facebook with the live stream. I don't even know how many people were watching on Facebook, right? So yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting journey to get us on all of these platforms at the same time. It was our first time doing it. So you guys, I guess to some extent, kind of witnessed some history here, right? So yeah, and yeah, Deb's doing an amazing job for sure. Okay, so can someone call me? My credit card will not go through, says Trisha.
Yep, we're on it.
You guys are on it.
We're on that. Barbara Duff will reach out to you.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So
they're asking when the classes start also.
Right. So our first class starts on May 4th.
4th.
Yeah. May the 4th be with you. Ooh, cool, right? The May 4th day. Ooh, perfect. May the 4th be with you. There you go.
May 4th, and then there's every 6 weeks after
every week.
At 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Yes. Yeah. So every week, 10 a.m. Pacific, from that point forward. Correct. And so those will be the live sessions with me. So I will personally be leading those sessions. So yes, May 4th is the first date. So so Jesse was asking about more than ready to get into our new world, be a harmonious, beautiful reality. Absolutely. Yeah, and I will tell you, there's some amazing conversations going on in the world of social audio right now. I had an incredible conversation yesterday, just life-changing for all of us that were there. I've never done this, and I know hearing you talk, this is absolutely. Yeah, and so just so that we're clear, what I want you to understand is that anybody can go on a Clubhouse and do this, right? I'm not by any stretch positioning this to you in terms of, hey, here's a great way to use Clubhouse sort of thing in terms of like the nuts and bolts. Okay, we're releasing an ebook called Crushing It with Clubhouse in just a few days here that goes into the nuts and bolts. Like, what do you do? Anyone can teach you how to do that. Okay, and it's a little remiss in not explaining this earlier. This is really about the business of social audio. This is not a how to use Clubhouse kind of thing. This is how to generate 6 or 7 figures leveraging the power and the business of social audio and the intersection of social audio and podcasting. That's what I'm teaching. So I probably didn't make that clear enough, but I want you to understand that the audio domination training is not a how-to guide. You can go on and you can open a room tomorrow. The question is, how do you turn that visibility into revenue? The question is, how do you attract people to come to your room so that you can then bring them into your ecosystem? The question is, how do you develop real relationships with the people who can literally make you famous simply by inviting you onto their show or inviting you onto a Clubhouse stage? That's really what we're talking about here. And I just want to make sure that that is clear. And of course, with the 1 million downloads mastermind, that is all about hearing directly, not from somebody who's like, oh yeah, I've got a podcast. Well, that's great. Do you have 1 million downloads? If you don't have 1 million downloads, you probably aren't the one to be telling me what to do with my podcast, right? So what are the top strategies, the best tools? What are people doing today to generate significant leads, revenue, downloads, visibility, etc., with their voice, with their social audio presence, with their podcasting presence? So the faculty that we're bringing in, and I know it's a little bit weird, and I was actually kicking it around a little bit, because when you go onto social audio, it's not really a download per se, but it seemed to make the most sense in terms of a name. So we ran with 1 million downloads. But we're going to be bringing in not only top podcasters, but also people who are just absolutely crushing it with social audio. And we're doing really, really well with it. I've got a whole bunch of friends and peers that are also doing well, and they're going to come in and they're going to be teachers as well. So the faculty will be comprised of people who are both podcasters and only podcasters, although a lot of people are, migrating into the world of social audio as well, and people who are only doing things on social audio and doing really well and beginning now to migrate into podcasting, because the two really do go hand in hand, like cookies and milk and chocolate and strawberries. So just so that we are very, very clear on that. Barbara Hales is saying she wanted to be in the first 24, and I don't know if you were able to help her with that, Kelly. Again, Madeline, great question.
Jeff's going to reach out to her.
Okay.
We've
Great
got
question.
Just
Yes,
a
please.
couple spots left.
How many?
We got
3?
about 10.
Okay, 10?
No, not 10.
3?
We've got 3 left.
Okay, 3. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, because I saw some things coming through and it looked like it was flying pretty good. So there you go. So 3 spots left again. Joinadnow.com. We should use a black marker on that, right? Joinadnow.com for everything that's included with Audio Domination. And then join1md.com if you want to come into the year-long mastermind with us. And that includes everything from Audio Domination as well. Great question. So Clubhouse, what should you do as far as your name is concerned? Well, I would always recommend using your real name, although there are people like @CoachDeb who do other things, and that's okay too. I started out actually as Podcast Magazine, changed it over to my name because at some point they said, hey, we're going to kind of crack down on people that are using these aliases and whatnot. Now they don't really seem to care as much. So you could do something as it relates to your business. Sure, you could do that. What I would suggest that you do is be very careful about the handle that you use. Be very selective about the handle that you use and use something that will show up in search, because your name probably isn't going to show up in search unless somebody's looking directly for you and they know who you are, right? So for me, I chose @podcasts, this way with an S. And so that way, when somebody starts typing in the word podcast, I come up in those search results. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of thinking insofar as, when you come on the Clubhouse, module 1, right, of Audio Domination is all about just building that foundation and ultimately identifying your biggest opportunity. So it's just so important to understand what conversation is it that you most want to be a part of, because that conversation ultimately can lead you towards what that handle should be, what your club should be about. Why do we call it Club Pod? I mean, we could have called it anything, right? We called it Club Pod because we want to be known, and we are known as the premier experts as it relates to the industry of podcasting, right? So there you go. Lots of compliments. Thank you for that. Dates and times, mostly on, May 4th? So is that a Tuesday? Kelly, does May 4th a Tuesday? Is that what we decided, or is that a Thursday?
No, they're all Tuesdays. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Okay, Tuesday. Yep. Scott Edwards is asking about the Podcast Magazine feature. Do you know if he got in or not, or was he part of the first 24?
He is having trouble getting his order to go through.
Okay, so it looks like we have, 2 left? What do we have, two left right now? I think I just saw another one come through.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, so we got 2 left right now for that 24. Again, join1md.com for the 1 million downloads mastermind, and joinadnow.com for Audio Domination. Okay. Barbara says she filled it out more than 10 times. Okay, you said you're talking to her. Okay, there you go. Stacy's saying, so do the first part first, and then when does the second part start? I'm not sure on your question, Stacy, but I'm happy to answer it. Kim, how do you join Clubhouse, and how do you get the software for the podcast shows? Okay, So we can help you with Clubhouse. We do have some invites. Our team, between us, we've got enough invites to get you guys in. So let us know about that. So if you join Audio Domination or the $1 Million Downloads Mastermind, and you need an invitation to Clubhouse, we can make that happen for you. Okay, so we can invite you in, and it is invitation only because it's still in beta. This is why I'm saying this opportunity right now is right here, right now. Okay, it's still in beta. As this thing gets out of beta, the hockey stick goes up. The opportunity blows up in terms of more opportunity for you because you got in now. And that opportunity begins to have some diminishing returns as more people get into the space. Think about Bitcoin, right? Again, going back to Bitcoin. Your return, if you bought Bitcoin at $100 a coin to where it is today, is exponential at like 63,000% or something ridiculous. They are saying that Bitcoin could go to 250,000, maybe 500,000, who knows? So from 63,000 to 500,000 is still really damn good, but that's 7x, still a great return. But for the people who got in early, that's stratospheric. Okay, so how do you get the software for the podcast show? So the software we will give you access to. And again, it's a 44-day free trial. You do have to put in your credit card. It's just part of the system, but it comes with Audio Domination. So we will give you access to the podcast booking software. I mean, think about it. Just one podcast appearance a week, right? Just one podcast appearance a week, leveraging the $1,000 funnel. That's a 2x return on what we're asking you to invest in Audio Domination. You come into the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, you do one appearance a week, 2 months, paid for, everything else is gravy. So there you go. So the software is included. It's included when you enroll with Audio Domination or the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind. Can you leverage Clubhouse alone on this? Of course, absolutely. You don't have to. Let me just say this as clearly as I can. This is about leveraging the business of audio. That's what we help you to do. It doesn't mean that you have to launch a podcast. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't want to launch a podcast now, and they don't have to. You can do this through social audio. The question is, will you understand how to convert what happens on those social audio platforms into leads and revenue? Will you understand the business of social audio? That's really what we are teaching here, okay? So can you just do it on Clubhouse? Absolutely. And I would almost say that if I was starting today, I might try to run down that path of social audio as far as I could go before even launching a podcast, because I believe that opportunity is that significant for those who get in and really take advantage of where we are right now. So nope, you don't need a podcast. You could do this directly through social audio for sure. Is it worth recording on Clubhouse? What's the purpose? I like recording on Clubhouse because what ends up happening is there is so much amazing magic that happens when people come up on stage and you get into dialogue. When you think about podcasting, again, I love podcasting. I've been podcasting since 2009. It has its place. I love the medium. Not saying it's going anywhere. I'm not saying it's dying. I'm not saying Clubhouse is going to replace podcasting or other social audio channels will replace podcasting. But what I do know is that podcasting is a one-way form of communication. You record an episode, you put it out, and someone else listens to it. That is a one-way form of communication. Clubhouse is two-way. It is a two-way form of communication. People come up on stage, they ask you questions, they contribute to the conversation. That ends up making for a pretty darn amazing episode a lot of the time. That's why I believe that the intersection of traditional podcasting and social audio and this rise of podcasting 2.0 is where it's at, where you can then take that recording from Clubhouse, where you've had this great dialogue, you've had an interactive, it's been very interactive with your, with your audience, and just organic. It's so beautiful and magical what happens there in those conversations. And then take that and release that in evergreen through your podcast. So, will the join80now.com offer be available throughout this masterclass or only today? Great question. So yes, so join adnow.com. That will be the link throughout, and join1md.com will be available throughout. And so what I will tell you is that both of these offers with the bonus stacks that you're seeing and everything, this particular offer you will not see after this masterclass is concluded. Okay. So do you teach how to use Clubhouse? Can you do Clubhouse without a podcast? Can you tell us someone video recorder? So our book that we're releasing, which again is called Crushing It with Clubhouse, will take you through the mechanics of what to do, right? So that'll be very, very helpful, and we're releasing that in just a few days. But in terms of how to leverage the business of social audio and what to do, that's what this training is, right? This is really about how to turn the visibility that social audio provides into highly targeted leads and revenue. That's ultimately what we're talking about here. So, and again, yes, you can totally do Clubhouse without a podcast. You do not need to do both. I want to make that as clear as I possibly can. Is it good to have both? Sure, just more visibility, right? And ultimately, when you follow our process, you'll understand how do you turn that visibility into revenue. So the more people who know about you, the more lives you impact, the more people you help, and ultimately the more revenue you generate. So you can keep the lights on, and so you can do all the fun things that you were meant and made to do in the world. Okay, so Trisha would like to pay in full. So Kelly, hopefully you can help Trisha there, and hopefully you've been in touch with her. And yes, there are payment options.
Care of.
Okay, good. So I don't know if I said that or not, but there are payment options. So if you need a payment plan, we have payment plans both for Audio Domination, the core program with those inclusions, and we have a payment plan for the 1 million downloads mastermind as well. Of course, you're going to save the most money if you choose the pay in full option. Okay.
Hey, Steve.
All the trainings are pre-recorded. How do you help us understand them? Actually, there was a core question about recording. How do you record? So we share with you the exact equipment setup that I use. So we share with you the exact equipment setup. So you'll find that in the training, the exact equipment setup that I use. And it's not crazy expensive. It does the job, and you'll use it for years and years and years to come. Kelly, were you saying something?
Yeah, we've had a couple of comments in regards to like people being too old to do this and seniors and all that. I think you need to tell them about Mom.
Oh my God. So my mom just turned 80. And we got her started with a podcast, I think 2 years ago, and it's called Women Over 70. So my mom has a podcast called Women Over 70, helped her launch that, and it's amazing. They interview women who are obviously over 70 and just the most amazing women who come onto that show. And she's now on Clubhouse as well. So no, I mean, and that's the beautiful thing about Clubhouse. And frankly, I would have started Mom on Clubhouse 2 years ago if it was available, because technology isn't always the friendliest, especially for those of us who didn't grow up with a phone in our hand. So now that we have a phone in our hand and Mom can just simply go boop on Clubhouse, she can start a room, she can start having just really amazing conversations. And so you're never too old for this. As a matter of fact, I think social audio is a godsend, really, in the world of just being able to reach those that you're most compelled to serve with your mission and your message, and cover what it is that puts fire in your soul. Because you literally just pick up your phone and you go boop, you start a room and you're in conversation with people. It's just that easy. And so no matter what your niche is, no matter how old you are, none of that matters. You can do this. And we're here to help you. I mean, that's the bottom line. is when you come into our community, either through Audio Domination or the 1 Million Downloads Masterclass, we're here to help you, and we'll guide you, and that's what you're hiring us for. So absolutely. All of the trainings that take place through Audio Domination, those will be recorded. I am delivering my trainings live, and then the other trainings, of course, will be recorded, and you'll be able to go through them at your own pace. You'll have 24/7 access, 365 in the portal. We do drip things out over time, but once everything is dripped out, you'll then have access to everything at your convenience. So Deborah Bishop says her credit card didn't go through either. Hopefully you've been in touch with have you guys been in touch with Deborah Bishop?
Yes.
Yes, yay.
Sorry, I'm trying to click all over the place. Where's the unmute?
Right, yes. It's like trying to talk to somebody overseas. How are you?
5 minutes later.
Great. It's like, it's painful. Thea says, how long does it take to start seeing money generated from the program? Great question. And so what I would say to you is I know of people who we have trained, like Kelly Filardo, who went on and was able to sell tickets to her event from her first room. So there is a process to this. There is a strategy to this. That's what we help you to do. The beautiful thing about where we're at with social audio is you can start literally today, tonight, like right now. With podcasts, it's, there's more steps that are involved. There are things that you have to do. So what I would tell you is that once you understand our process, our system, and that's what we're here to help you with. I mean, that's what the community is for as well, right? Any questions that you have, to be surrounded by people who love you and want to support you and want to help you and want you to succeed. You'll have people right there who you can lean on. Of course, our team and our community as well. So yeah, you could literally follow our process, open up a room, engage people in what it is that you're so great at, move them into your ecosystem, either through a phone call or through your email list or whatever that might be. Use our Icon Maker closing script and start generating revenue right away. And we've helped nonprofits, and we've helped, again, you name it, no matter what the niche is, we've helped them. So the live sessions will not be an hour. Now that you know me, you'll know that my live sessions are never an hour. So we go. I guess I'm kind of the, no, I can't even compare myself, but there are people who go for a long time with their trainings, and I'm just one of those people that wants to stay to the end. If you have questions, I'm going to stay. And so the beautiful thing about the trainings and doing it live is I'm there to answer your questions. So I guarantee you they will not be an hour. But what I will also guarantee you is that they will be recorded. So if you have to go, you have to go, and you'll be able to access the training. You'll be able to access the recording for sure. Am I invited to the next class? You are invited to every class. We would love to have you, Paul, at all of the Audio Domination Masterclass parts of this process. Part 1 that we're in, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. I'll move out of the way, right? There we go. No, that way. There it is, Audio Domination, right? So yes. So yeah, you're invited for sure to Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. Barbara Hales, there you go. Susan's in touch with you. The Audio Domination include the funnel, so I can set up a website. So Patrick, great question. So the way that we are doing it is through ClickFunnels. And so we have built it fully out in ClickFunnels, and we will literally push it into your account. I think there might be something else, Duff. Was there any, did we ever get it set up on another platform, Kelly, or no?
No, if we do, it would be pushed through Kartra.
Right. I know there was a chance, because I know he mentioned Kartra. And I think there was a chance that we were doing something with that. I don't know if we ever got it fully set up. We can get back to you.
No, we didn't.
Okay. I know we were looking at doing that. So, so for right now, it's ClickFunnels. And again, fully built out and pushed into your account. Is the material that I covered today the same as the content on Thursday? No. Part 2 of the Audio Domination Masterclass is really focused on the 5 audio domination profit paths. Part 3, which will be Saturday, is we're going to be focusing on the future of audio. So the future of audio is part 3. And then part 4 is audio domination. So that's 4 different trainings. Yeah, lots of trainings that we're going to be doing here. Okay, so no, 4 very different trainings. Christopher says, I'm interested in the impact more than the income. I'm not currently selling a product or service, but want to still produce quality and engaging content that will be rewarding to people. Will this still be a value for me? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So here's what I know is that there are some people, perhaps like yourself, Christopher, that aren't interested in, in selling products or programs or services, and that's completely fine. I mean, some of the podcasters, many of the podcasters that I know and have been, in community with for years, just do it because they love sharing their stories, or they love helping other people. They don't have any back end products, programs, services. They just love helping people. They just love sharing their content. Same thing with Clubhouse and the other social audio channels. You have people who just come on who genuinely want to help people and just do it because they want to impact their lives. And what's really interesting is once you start doing that, it opens doors in ways that you never thought possible because you're just sharing from your heart, right? I mean, like, I don't know how you feel like I'm coming across. I try to just be raw and real and authentic and just be me. I'm not trying to be overly salesy or anything like that. And when you come from that place of just coming from your heart and knowing like, yes, I want you to enroll in Audio Domination. Yes, I'd love for you to join our 1 million downloads mastermind. I mean, if you don't, you don't. But I want to put forth that offer because I genuinely know what happens when people come into our world, when people invest in our offerings. It changes the trajectory of their business and their life. So that's why I'm passionate about it. And you can be passionate about what puts fire in your soul without having to sell something. Once that happens, people it's contagious, and people will want to be a part of your world, and you'll be amazed at who reaches out for you. I can tell you that there's so much to cover here, but let me just say this. The number of downloads on our podcast has exponentially increased since we went on to Clubhouse because it becomes very circular. Clubhouse feeds the podcast feeds social law. I mean, it's just very, very circular. The number of followers that I have on social media has grown. The point being, you go on, you share who you are, you share what you're about, you share with that same passion. And it doesn't matter if you're selling a product, program, or service. Don't have to. People will gravitate and resonate, right? So gravitate towards you and resonate with you. So no, it doesn't. But the question is, how do you reach more people? Because I can tell, Christopher, by your note here, that you want to reach a lot of people. Here's what I tell you, like you wouldn't go to Mount Everest, right? And just start climbing up that mountain. You'd be dead in a week, right? You just don't walk in a week, in a day, in an hour, right? Like you just don't walk up to the mountain and start climbing. You hire a Sherpa who knows the path, who understands what you need to do in order to survive and make it to where you want to go. At the end of the day, I just know in my heart that if you really want to make this work, when whatever you define as success, find someone who has been where you want to go or who's already where you want to go and ask them to throw down the ladder so you can climb up, and ask them to help you. The amount of trial and tribulation and brain damage that you will not endure when you have someone who has already been there help you to get to where you want to go outweighs any investment of time, energy, or resources of trying to figure this out on your own. You try to figure this out on your own, it will cost you 10 times as much as anything that we are asking you to invest. Because the reality is that when you look at where you are right now and you look at where it is that you want to go, I'm not saying this to be harsh, but if you wanted to be there and you know that's where you wanted to be and you're not there, it's because you can't do it on your own. We all have a ceiling of limitations. We cannot go beyond what we do not know. And so, I mean, to this day, I hire coaches. I hire people to help me. I train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Been doing it for 20 years. I still pay every single month to get my ass kicked. And it happens every single time I go because that's how I improve. That's how I get better. And that's how I ultimately become a better teacher. And that's how I ultimately help more people. So regardless of whether or not you are selling a product, program, or service, it doesn't matter. Your goal is to reach more people, have people who have done that help you. And that to me is always going to be the right answer. Very long answer to the question. Kelly, anything else that you've got while I take a sip of this iced tea? Nope.
Sorry.
Okay.
I started searching and go and then forgot to unmute.
No worries.
There were several people that were just asking about, being automatically registered for the next class. When is it? And I think you covered that already.
When is the next class?
The next one is the next Masterclass. The next part 2 of this will be on Thursday.
Yep.
At 4 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
We had a question about whether this was valid for the Spanish-speaking market.
Oh, it's valid for any market. As a matter of fact, one of our faculty members that we're bringing on for the $1 million mastermind is that guy Luis that you introduced me to, Kelly, who's got over 60 million downloads, and everything he does is in Spanish, right? So we recognize that there's a global opportunity here. So yeah, we're actually bringing on a guy who's got over 60 million downloads and is really active in the podcasting world and social audio world as well under our faculty here. So yeah, absolutely, 100%. Miranda says she paid twice.
There's a huge Latino market in
podcasting.
Huge.
Yeah, massive. So yeah, no matter what, absolutely. Spanish is huge in the world of audio for sure. And we need more Spanish speaking creators, right? If you can speak Spanish and if you're bilingual, oh man, like there's a huge opportunity there. Miranda says she paid twice. So I don't know if you, yeah, right. She wanted so much, she paid twice for it. Please.
Well, if that's the case, then we have that 24 spot still open then.
Oh, okay. So there's one left then. There you go. Okay. So if she paid twice and there's one left right now. So again, join adnow.com. One spot left for that bonus. Join 1md.com for the 1 million downloads. Everybody gets the podcast magazine feature, the $1,000 funnel, and the stage time with me in Clubhouse if you come into the 1 million downloads mastermind. Okay, so how important is it to have another person to support you on your Clubhouse as a moderator, says Catherine? It's not. You can totally do this on your own. 100% you can do this on your own. Yeah, I mean, I've done lots of rooms on my own, but I will tell you, it's fun having moderators up there with you. Like I'm all about abundance, right? Like I love having people there by my side, hanging out and working out with me because again, I'm not even equal parts teacher and student. Like I am probably 10% teacher and 90% student. So for me, I love having other people on the platform with me. Do you need to have it? Do you need to have somebody, moderating or having somebody producing or all that? Absolutely not. And we'll go over a lot of that. So Van had the same question about how long, right? Can someone expect to make some money with this? On average, how long does it take? The honest answer is, I don't know. I mean, I know of people, myself included, and there's, by the way, I didn't even talk about this. So they are now rolling out, and Deb, it's like they're rolling out things so quickly here, like we can't even keep up. The monetization.
Yep.
So they literally just introduced to 1,000 people the ability to have people send them money directly through tipping on Clubhouse. So I was one of the first 1,000 people to receive that feature. And that first day, I got $13, baby. Yeah. So I'm rich. And then they rolled it out to another 66,000 people. And Deb, you were part of that group, right?
Yeah,
so you got that and others. Someone came into our room. His name is Brian Fanzo. Yesterday, he just got that feature where you can get tipped and this, that, and the other. He put on a clinic around sponsorships and advertising and so on. And I was like, oh my God, like you guys, if you found value in that conversation, would you please send him $1, right? He ended up making $350. He was like, Steve, dude, do you know I got $350? And he spoke for like 12 minutes. How many of you guys would like to make $350 in 12 minutes? Well, you can too in one of my rooms on Clubhouse. No guarantees. But the honest answer is now that they have the monetization feature, you can make this happen almost out of the gate. So that's part of what we're going to be talking about as well. But you know, like I don't want to sit here and make any false promises. I'm not that kind of person. Will it happen? Maybe. But I do know that once you understand how to leverage the business of audio, there's a lot of opportunities for you there, Van, to generate leads and revenue on a consistent basis. Can it happen with your first room? Absolutely. Could it happen with your first podcast episode? Absolutely. So the answer is yes. So Leanne says she's in. So there you go. So Leanne grabbed 24. All right. So Kelly, just confirm when you can. I'm super excited for you, Deborah, as well. Deborah Bishop. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Deborah Bishop gave you her phone number, Kelly. So make sure you saw that. So Nancy is saying, just making sure, reading what I said on the app, Steve, copying from the App Store preview. Can you address age 17 plus? So I assume you're talking about for Clubhouse, age 17 plus and what's going on. I don't know about the things that they're listing here. I can tell you, okay, so if they're talking about content, hell yes. This is an open global forum. You will have people talking about all kinds of stuff, using words that you may not want mom to hear. That's the reality of social audio. So yeah, I can understand why they have a warning about crude humor, a warning about profanity, a warning about sexual content. That's the really interesting thing about what's going on here, is there are thousands upon thousands of rooms taking place in this very moment across the globe. Again, I don't want to get into the nuts and bolts of how Clubhouse works, because that's going to come out in the Crushing It with Clubhouse ebook that we're releasing here. Deb's got a great book. What's the name of your book again, Deb? It's the Clubhouse Guidebook. Here, hold on. I'll show you hers too. So Deb just released this one, Clubhouse Guidebook. Can you get me in on that? There we go. That way. Deb just released this one, Clubhouse Guidebook. So, you know, there are a lot of people who can help you with sort of those nuts and bolts sort of thing. Spiral John says, could not find where to pay. Well, that's not good. Let's get John in on this. Spiralfuture0112@gmail.com. Kelly, hopefully you see that in the chat. Let's get John hooked up there.
I am not seeing that one.
You're not seeing it. It's at 5:48 p.m. in the Q&A. 5:48 p.m. in the Q&A.
Okay.
Jen, is Clubhouse available on Android? The answer is kinda. So. Yeah, so they're testing Android right now. There are Android users on the platform. This is why I'm talking about, and we'll just continue to say this till I'm blue in the face, until I lose my voice, about opportunity. Like there is a window of opportunity right now that the people who take advantage of this moment in time will see substantially better dividends than those who wait 90 days or 180 days, et cetera, in terms of their followers, in terms of the results using this platform. Android is coming. If you get started now, you can start building your following, start building your reputation, open your own club, start getting people in there, because when Android comes in, they're going to find you. And that's going to give you the opportunity to massively build your following. We tend to, for us who are in the iPhone land, we tend to forget that the majority of the people who are on mobile devices are not on iPhones. So those numbers are going to scale exponentially, which is going to be great for you because you're here right now and you're going to get in on this and you're going to start and your numbers are going to grow exponentially because there's going to be more users on the platform. Right now, there's about 12 million users on the platform. Okay. That number is going to quadruple as soon as Android opens the first day. And it's going to continue to go up and up and up and up and up and up. So what is the difference between social audio and podcasting? Social audio are platforms like Fireside, which I am one of the early Fireside creators. Clubhouse, of course, Twitter Spaces, etc. So there's, some players that are in that game outside of Clubhouse as well. And of course, podcasting is what you see through Apple Podcasts and Spotify and the other platforms as well. I just simply define it as as Apple Podcasts and podcasts and that whole world is evergreen. It's audio on demand. And social audio is real-time audio that typically is not recorded. So once that room closes, that conversation disappears into the ethers and it's gone. So I believe that the biggest opportunity, as I said, is in the combination of the two, the rise of podcasting 2.0. Okay. Have to run. Good to see you.
I have a couple things here.
Yes, please.
I don't think you answered this yet. Do you think Clubhouse will replace the audience that listens to podcasts? And then I have another one.
Yeah, it's a great question. And so here's what I would say. I would say that there is always a risk that as new technologies come on board, those new technologies replace old technologies. Okay? So I believe that there is a risk that could happen. What I also know to be true is that the VCR did not eliminate the movie theater. The DVD and Blu-ray did not eliminate the movie theater. COVID did a number on it. The ArcLight just closed in La Jolla. Isn't that sad? It is sad. But, the reality is streaming didn't kill the movie theater. You just have more people consuming more stuff. Yeah. So what I know to be true is that our podcast download numbers have increased as a result of our social audio presence. Because if you think about it this way, if you go into a Clubhouse room right now, and I don't know, Kelly, are we still going on Clubhouse? Are we still going?
Yep.
Are we really?
Yes, we are.
Are there still people there?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
Hi, Clubhouse. That's cool. That's awesome. What's up, Clubhouse? Hold on, let me see. Now I got to look. Look at that. Wow, sweet.
2.5 hours. They're all
hanging out. Good to have you here. All right, so what I know to be true is that, when you go into a Clubhouse room, what ends up happening is there's typically people on stage that are different than the speaker you really want to hear from. You could sit there for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, an hour before you hear from the person that you really wanted to hear from. Okay? So if you really want to hear from one particular person, you'll find their podcast. You listen to it. It's an hour long. It is whatever it is. You're going to listen to them because that's them talking the whole time, right? So to me, evergreen podcast still going to have its place. Clubhouse, social audio, FOMO, real time, that's going to have its place. The two work best. Cookies and milk, chocolate and strawberries, podcasting 2.0, social audio, the intersection of traditional podcasting, where traditional podcasting ends and social audio begins, is podcasting 2.0. I think there's room for both. What was the other question, Kelly? And
all right. Somebody was asking about her friend and her partner in crime co-host have a weekly show on Facebook, and they like the ability to interact with the audience, even though they can join via messaging and during the show. So they don't have plans to do a podcast, but they're keen to be part of Clubhouse, as it seems like a better way to interact with others in sharing what they love to do.
Sure.
So her question is, why does it take so long to get it? Oh, wait, this is an older thing because she must not know that you can start your own club now. You don't have to be approved.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know that, and I will tell you that this is one of those nuances of the game. We were on back in the day when you had to apply to get a club. So we applied to get a club for Clubhouse, and we got one, which was ClubPod. Today, you can open your own club without having to go through them. However, here's the thing. You have to open rooms on a consistent basis. So if you don't open rooms at least 2 or 3 times a week, for a week or a couple weeks or so, you may not see that option on your profile. Okay, again, I don't want to get into the granular sort of weed type stuff here. But open rooms, and then you should see that option on your profile. Kim Cash still wants to get in here. Can we make her one of the 24? That is the question. So I'll let you answer that, Kelly, directly. 553, Kim Cash. Olivia wants to be a guest on my mom's show. Awesome. We would love to have you. JoinADnow.com. Come on in. I will make sure that mom and her co-host has you on her show. 100%. Yes. Or join the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind. Join1md.com. So, yes.
Note to self, remind Steve he committed his mother's podcast guest.
I did. I sold out my mom. Christine says, I want to teach the Bible, not sure how to monetize. How would that be possible? I don't want to monetize the word, but I need to generate more income. This is where you need guidance, right? I mean, this is where the business of social audio, this is where the business of audio, this is where the business of podcasting comes in. This is what we teach. We help our clients reach 5, 6, 7 figures a year doing what it is that they love doing and doing what it is that puts fire in their soul. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to get the guidance that you need, because you can continue to try to figure it out on your own, and the results will just not be what you need them to be. So just get it right the first time. And again, whatever you invest with us will serve you for the life cycle of your business. And so this is why I, continually invest, because I know that the knowledge that I gain is not about the investment that I put out in that moment. That investment gives me access to the knowledge that I need in order to exponentially grow my business. So like one good idea from a mastermind that I'm a part of could add 6 figures or more to our business, right? So the honest answer to your question is, can you monetize the word through the Bible? Absolutely. And don't be ashamed to do so. I mean, all you have to do, and I hope I'm not ruffling feathers here, but all you got to do is look at some of the televangelists. Yeah, I mean, Joel Osteen's a perfect example. He ain't broke, last I looked. And, I'll just leave it at that. Is it fireside chat? So that, yes, there is fireside, and it is often known as fireside chat. Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so that's one of the things people call it, fireside or fireside chat. Exactly. That's what it is, Catherine.
Just as a follow-up to that, as a follow-up to that, Clive was asking why Clubhouse is much more popular than Fireside.
For 2 reasons. Number one, Clubhouse is going after what I would call critical mass. They really want to grow this platform and reach as many people as possible. Fireside is really more about what I would call curated mass, where they're looking to have a smaller group of creators create content on that platform on an ongoing basis. Okay. So they're not so concerned with the massive numbers as much as they're concerned with the quality, so to speak, of the programming that takes place on their platform. So it's just a different approach to social audio, and neither is right or neither is wrong. Jen said, as my company was decimated from 10 months of lockdown, sorry about that. I'm not currently in a position to buy your program. Should I forget about the rest of today's session, the next sessions? No, join us for the sessions. Glean what you can. I know for a fact that not everyone is going to be able to join us in the Million Downloads Mastermind or join us in Audio Domination. And that's okay. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. And however many people can join us is awesome. And maybe you'll be ready one day. Maybe I will help you to be ready. Maybe something that I say will give you the wherewithal to be ready to join us a month from now, right? Okay, great. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We've been doing this for a long time. We're not going anywhere. So when you're ready, we're here. So come out of the training, learn, but most importantly, apply it to your business. All right. And then when you're ready, we'll be here for you to help you. Kim is in. Yay, Kim. All right, awesome. Paul says he wrestles all the time. Good. Teresa gave you at 6:06 her email. It might be something she needs there. Patrick says, thanks for the answers because I'm 100% blind. I need to see tomorrow if you can do ClickFunnels. Okay, sounds good. Yep. And so, yeah, if you find that, you can't work with ClickFunnels, just let us know. Just let us know. And we'll certainly be able to help you with that. Looking forward to the next class. Awesome. Kim, either way, you're jazzed. We're jazzed to have you. Good. Can you elaborate on the ClickFunnels? So ClickFunnels is a piece of software that allows you to basically build websites in a jiffy. And so when you look at some of the pages, all the pages basically that we used for audio domination, those were all built in ClickFunnels. And so ClickFunnels is software that we've been using for a long time. We love it. It's super easy to use. And the $1,000 funnel that we're talking about, which is what we use to generate revenue from every appearance, that will be pushed into your account. So you don't have to worry about any of the tech or any of that. You just have to change the words, obviously, to your words, and then you'll be good to go. So we're making it really easy for you to get started really, really quickly. Okay, hope that answers that question. Carmen Elise wants to know if she made the 24 cut. Just let her know, please. Susan got it. Paul says I have a green belt in Tai Chi and I wrestle. Also, yeah, we'll promote a match exactly for the deal. There you go. Yeah, I am too old. Every time I step on the mat, I break something nowadays, man. So no wrestling for money, please. Van says I'm more than willing to put in 100%, 10% effort. There is money to crop out there to be harvested. Absolutely. And what I will tell you is that to a person, whenever someone is hesitant and just kind of feels like, I don't know, look, here's what I know to be true. If you're a yes, awesome. You come in, join us, get the benefit of everything that we're offering with Audio Domination. Join adnow.com. Come into the Million Downloads Mastermind. Join 1md.com. And you're a yes, great. We will welcome you with open arms. If you're a no, okay, you may just be a no. But if you're a maybe, which maybe you are, Van, that to me means you're a yes. It just means that you need to figure out a reason to get you kind of over that hump, right? To get you off of that fence. And so ultimately, for most of us, we will try to find a reason to say no. And what I will tell you is that it really only takes one reason to say yes. So maybe even take it out of the context, man, of yourself and what you're scared about and this, that, and the other. I get it. It's an investment. I'm not, there has never been a time that I have invested in something. I just bought more Bitcoin today. Okay. As it continues to go up in value, I bought more today. And when I hit buy, I was a little bit nervous. But what I did it for is not for me. I did it because I really want to create security for my wife and for my kids. And so the reason why I'm willing to invest is because I know that at the end of the day, making sure that they're set up and they're taken care of is bigger than my fear. So maybe think about who is that person? Not even who are the people, but who is that person that is literally waiting and praying for you to show up in their lives? And what happens when they don't have the opportunity to meet you and to hear from you and to learn from you and for you to be able to change their lives and to be that solution to their problem? And if you can just picture who that person is, right? Like I know for you, like you're that person for me, Van, right? Like I know that if I can help you figure this out, and I know that I can, you're going to go out and you're going to make this world a better place. And like, that's why I do what I do, because I know that what we do works to a person when people are hesitant, And they were like, I'm not sure, but I did it. They come back to us and they say, I can't believe I was hesitant. I can't believe I hesitated to do that. This has been a game changer, a life changer for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, we've got our Icon Maker program, which is 4.5 times as much of an investment as our 1 million downloads mastermind. You know, it's $36,000 or $30,000 as a pay in full. I mean, we have people who are just, they're so scared, right? When they do it, I don't know, I'm so scared. And they come up to us a month or 2 months or whatever it is later, and they're like, I don't know why I was so scared, and I'm so glad I did it. And it was the best decision that I've ever made for me and my business, right? And so this is why we can put these offers forth with confidence, because we know how much our trainings and how much our guidance changes people's lives. And so there is, and I hate to, and this is not a get rich quick thing, okay? I'm not in that business of selling, you know, magic bullets and you know, just false hopes and dreams. This is not snake oil. There is a proven process here of generating impact and income at the speed of your voice. It works. It works for us. It will work for you. So at some point, you know, you take that leap. You make that jump. And what I know to be true for those of you who are a no because you can't afford it, what I know to be true is that with very rare exception, if you cannot afford it now, you will not be able to afford this 6 months from now. It just doesn't work that way. You have to make a drastic, significant change and an investment in yourself now, so that 6 months from now, you look back and you go, that was an investment that I needed to make. Tony Robbins says that if you can't, then you must. If you can't, then you must. Right? And so if you're that no because you can't afford it, then you must do something to change this. And look, you know, again, I'm not one to tell you what to do with your money, but I will tell you that your money is a tool and it is designed to work for you and grow with you. And the more you hold on to that and the tighter that you hold it and you're not willing to invest it in yourself and in your business, the more difficult it's going to be as you move forward. So I will get off on my high horse, but I will tell you that there is money to be made, period. End of story. Mark says, personally, I wonder what the impact of social audio will have on the talk radio industry. It is going to absolutely have an impact on the talk radio industry. You know why? Because I can't access my favorite talk radio station in the country because I'm here in San Diego. And you know what my favorite talk radio station is? It's WGN in Chicago, because that's where I grew up. Love WGN. I can't access it here. Talk radio is absolutely in for a rude awakening, because with social audio, it's kind of similar. It's a lot like talk radio. And you have the ability to reach almost anyone, almost anywhere in real time. So this is going to have a pretty darn dramatic impact on social audio. Absolutely. On talk radio, social audio will. I just want to see what else you said here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Can you copyright info put out on social audio and podcast platforms? To the best of my knowledge, you cannot. The words that you are saying, you know, I mean, you can obviously copyright, like what Podcast Magazine, right, is a registered trademark. Club Pod, we are in for our trademark on that as well. I mean, you can definitely copyright and get trademarks for those sort of things for sure. But I mean, if I'm talking to you in this moment, unless I have a proprietary framework that I'm sharing that has been trademarked, like nichetize is one of our trademarks. What is your what is one of our trademarks. No one else can go out and use that. But if I'm just talking to you, or if you're on social audio, no, you can't. You can't really do that. You're welcome, Paul. I like you too. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so this was great. Awesome. Really appreciate you guys being here. 2.5 hours later, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to say thank you, and I appreciate you, and I want to welcome those who are the first ones to join in here, either with the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind or Audio Domination. So again, join1md.com is the link for the 1 Million Downloads Mastermind, and joinadnow.com is the link to join us in Audio Domination. Okay. Thank you for being here. This was part 1 of our Audio Domination Masterclass. I am Steve Olsher for the producer extraordinary, Dev. Thank you so much. And for our team, Kelly and Duff and Susan and everybody else. Appreciate you guys. And we will do this again on Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific. Yes. Okay. That is all. All right, my friends. Have a great night. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. Talk to you really, really soon. Take care, everybody.